What is going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 106. It's 106 this time, right?
For real.
For real, that's right.
This time, yes. Yeah.
Well, actually, surprisingly enough, the whole theme behind this show is that we know the future. And the reason we know the future is because we just came from there. Because last week's show, we were actually ahead of the time, and we talked about the stuff there, and then we came back to this week's show. So it's just, we're time traveling PPs. It's crazy. You should always
time traveling
PPs, bro.
Yeah, man. Nothing's nothing. Look. I trust my PP more than I trust anything, and my PP is always right.
I was about to say I'll trust my PP more than I'll trust the Doctor Who sonic screwdriver for any day, bro.
Yeah, you know, we're just itching to get canceled because I'm just saying when we say I just want everybody to know PP means pre-patch. Like just putting it out there, it is pre-patch. That is what that means.
One reminder.
Speaking of Doctor Who, did you see the Doctor Who versus Rick Sanchez death battle?
No.
Does anybody watch Death Battle here?
I don't watch Death Battle.
I don't know what that is. I thought you meant something in the show.
No, it's a YouTube series where they put two characters from different universes
like rap
together.
Battles of history.
No, they actually fight to the death. Like, they do pretty decent for the most part about like getting like power sets and lore and stuff like that all mixed up. But they just have some really bad mismatches.
As much as I am a Doctor Who fan, there's no way Rick lost.
No, Rick did lose.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that.
Sonic screwdriver trumps like all of Rick's tech, so
Dang.
that was the biggest thing.
You just shoved
timey wimey, bro.
What the fuck's on your arm, by the way, bud?
Oh, it's just a scratch.
It's a scratch.
Good looking scratch.
No, man. You know what?
It's giant
I just got a tattoo
smeared over there
today, guys, of one of my favorite characters in Fallout, pretty much. But I have to move it. I have to laser it off and move it because Bite of Whiskey informed me that I should have got it on my hip.
Ooh.
Why would you
With a big iron on your hip?
Marty Robbins.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So I messed up. So yeah, it was here. It was nice while it lasted, but time to.
Well, then
Is that your first? Is that your first
It's
tattoo?
very first tattoo.
On top of that, if you would have had it on, your hip, you could have told him, "Do you want to see my big iron or my big iron?" You know,
my big. Never mind. Anyways.
By the way, really quick, disclaimer, by the way, just so you guys are aware, and my brother, if you're out there listening,
We're not a family-friendly podcast.
We are not a family-friendly podcast.
In no way, shape, or form, are we? I hope after 100 episodes, that's been apparent. Like,
no, it's not. It's not been. It's not been apparent.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, apparent came to one of our hosts and made it apparent that we are not.
It's fine.
You forbid your kids to watch the podcast, right, Sen?
I forget my pids. I forget.
Freaking my kids. Freaking my pids.
I forbid my kids to even like be in anywhere close to the room or when I'm streaming or any of that. I'm like, can we watch? No, absolutely not.
Except for when we're playing R6 Siege and he nails me in the fucking head twice.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
That was great. That was awesome. Yeah.
So I had a real dad moment whenever we were playing HOTS, and I got heated in the game, and then like my son
playing HOTS, no way.
And then my son asked a question about the game that was, it was a typical like, I mean, it's a typical question, but at the same time, like it's like one of those things where you're like, as a dad or whatever, your kid's like, where's that cup? And it's like in front of you. No, it's not. It's right in front of you. No, it's not. And he's staring at the fucking cup. And I was literally, it's on the fucking map. And then I had to like go afterward and be like, I apologize, man. Like I may have gotten a little gamer rage on you. I apologize. So
when you take it out on your kids in game.
No, I do not take it out on my kids.
In game.
So yeah. Damn. So anyway, well, welcome everybody. Episode 106. We got a lot to talk about. It's a great show. A lot of stuff has happened. We're coming down to the wire. This is like one of the last
one more podcast
left.
Yeah.
One or two
before. So I can say that I'm gonna make an announcement too. This is I'm officially leaving my job of working at Corsair and going somewhere new. I'm not gonna announce where I'm going, but big changes coming my way as well. So month of December, a lot of streams are gonna be happening. I will be streaming during the day quite a bit. taking a page
During
out of
day.
out of
What
Bill's
what
book.
hour specifically?
I don't. Whenever I wake my lazy ass
All-
up.
All the
okay.
hours.
Yeah,
Fair
no,
enough.
I mean, I'm gonna try to start like around like the noonish time frame, EST.
Word.
But I've also been streaming until like 6 in the morning, so it's been playing until 6 in the morning, so it's been a lot of late hours. So
Yeah, I was about to say some sleep schedule changing going on.
Can we just announce it that you're moving to full-time producer for the pre-patch podcast? That's
Yeah.
just
You're actually going to take over all the duties.
I was about
so
to
you're
say,
gonna be-
you can make
Everything.
videos, right?
Yeah, you're going to be making
There's
videos, editing,
videos, shorts,
there's a lot
Twitter
that goes
posts.
to there's a lot that goes into growing this PP, man, and it's just sometimes it
man.
takes it's different strokes for different folks.
Sometimes, man. Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, if this is your first episode, well,
I'm sorry.
you've
We're
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah.
you've
I need a
come-
bearskin rug and a fireplace. Sorry.
As I say all this, my son is literally like, "Go to bed. You're not supposed to be watching the show. Get out of chat."
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, yeah, we've got quite a bit of things. Not as many games necessarily that we've been playing this week to talk about, but a lot of news to go over. We have decided, and after 106 episodes, that we are kind of putting to rest the platform news section of the show. The big thing there is
Somewhat. We're still gonna
If
cover
something big
platform news if
happens,
something
yeah,
big
we'll cover
happens.
it,
It's
right.
just
Yeah.
we're not covering every single like minute detail of platform news because we came together and we're just kind of like I don't think we really need to cover a lot of the shit that we cover. It's not really, some of it's not interesting. So, and granted, I'm sure you guys like hearing about some of the platform news, but
yeah.
again,
Again,
it's not generally the most entertaining thing.
I mean, like we said, we're still going to do the big stuff. Like,
Yeah.
so.
So, which gives us more room to talk about games and news and things like that. So, just want to, if people are, you've been here for a long time and you've been a long time subscriber and listener, and kind of wondering like, hey, like, why are they not talking about the podcast news, or streaming news and stuff like that? That's why. So, with that being said, we're gonna move right on in to what we've been playing, and I'm gonna kick this off before we
With Heroes of the Storm.
not covering Heroes of the Storm.
What
Sounds like it's
happened
gonna
with
be
that,
a
by the way? I
different
need
storm.
to hear the story about Heroes of the Storm because you're obviously not covering it, and I heard it
So-
did not go well.
So he started playing it. He
Yeah.
got me and Scruffy into playing it.
Barely.
I paid $5 for it, and
That's
we
not my
uninstalled.
fault. That is not my fault. That you
It's
paid
like, it's
fucking
like a
$5.
disease. Like if you play with the whale, it gets in your mind.
I was
that
about
you
to
have
say, isn't that
whale
shit
yourself.
free?
Hey man,
Yeah,
I did not.
I wanted to
what
get
skin did you buy?
I didn't buy a skin. I bought the support pack so I could get a bunch of the support heroes. So
Again, not my. Not,
it was
not,
it
I'm
was
not
his fault.
forcing.
It was 100%. I blame him for this. I blame him
God.
100%.
What was there one like canon moment that was like, okay, this is the uninstall moment?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
so
yeah, actually,
Our final night. Like,
yeah, I mean, so
Do you want to share that with the class?
not even our final night. Like, yeah, I'm sure for like Scruffy's part, it was like that last game was it.
I
But like the
was-
game
I was
after,
over it, all of them, because
the
it was, like,
game
just 3
after
days
was the
that-
one that, yeah.
It was
I
3
was about
nights
to
in a row that there were just sweats.
Yeah.
That's all it was, man. I was like, no.
yeah,
I'll let Sid go on. But yeah, it was
Sin,
like the
tell,
game
tell me
after.
the story because I
I
was
mean-
actually thinking about installing it since you guys haven't started playing League yet, and I was like, well, shit, they're not playing Siege, they're not playing League, might as well join HOTS.
so it's. Let me. I'll start off by saying like I do enjoy the ideology behind HOTS and like what it is, and I think that it does have it could have a space, inside of the mobile world. Like the maps, I love. Like I kind of
The
love the
maps
direction.
are the best part of Heroes of the Storm. I
Yeah,
will give you
Yeah,
that
maps and the
100%.
heroes.
I agree
Yeah.
with
The
that.
thing that's always put me off about it is it seems like bad player or somebody can purpose like more so than in League ruin your entire game
Well, 'cause
because
it's a
the
lot
team's
more
XP is
objective-based.
all
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
and your
it's all
team's XP is
team-based.
all
Yeah.
So-
linked.
The problem that I started to run into, and I mean, again, it's obviously always been like this because they have not. It's not like they did a fucking sweeping change from when we played it and before and
yeah,
came
it
to
had
now.
always been like that.
It-
That
it
was
just-
one of the biggest. This is one of the biggest reasons why I stopped playing originally.
It would like the issue that I came across was that one, to get into to try to kill somebody or to do something, it's like insane. The fights were just so long, and now the meta has now switched to like 3 tanks, 2
Yeah.
supports. So like
Big,
even
heavy
trying to
bruiser
get
tank meta.
yeah, trying to get to the back line to stop a support, to be able to get to the front, to like reverse the front, like it just and because everybody is the same level, right? Within that, right? It becomes almost a stalemate, and of just being like,
Yeah.
who is going to kind of fuck up
Fuck this up first.
right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Whereas
And
in
then
like
from
League,
that point on, after you fuck it up, it just goes downhill.
it's
You
such a
can't-
fast
there's no
snowball.
scaling, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a fast snowball, and like in League, I understand the ideology behind making everybody level the same, right? But in League,
I never did.
well, I mean, because
I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. I want to be able to hard carry and make it so that this shitty person on my team isn't being a complete detriment, and that person is actively, not just based on like leveling up the other team, but they are actively hurting our entire team by the numbers.
well. The
Well,
problem is that
it makes sense until you realize, like, once you're the like one team out levels the other team entirely, then the sides, it's so sided, you know.
yeah, well,
It's so
the issue
unbalanced.
and the issue that they were trying to solve with this was like, okay, by making everybody the same level, we no longer have someone that can just go down and feed bot lane. And now I've got a Caitlyn that I'm fucking dealing with, or whatever the ADC is, or
but-
whatever this character. But the problem is that
They
you
can
now
still.
reverse that, and it becomes now like, no, you're not dealing with
They're not
one
just feeding
person.
one,
Now
they're
I'm dealing
feeding
with
the entire
4,
team.
right? That
Yeah.
are
I
kind
also
of over
the one that really pushed me over the edge was just like we were talking about it's in like the 3 tank meta and the two whatever supports, right, or whatever it was. Like I get that, and we have the same issues in League. Like we literally just got off of a season where we were complaining about the fact that it was a tank meta, right? It was
Yeah,
one of the bigger
I
complaints.
can't
that we
play
had.
Jhin in a tank meta. What are you
But-
talking about?
Yeah, but the problem with it is what I was looking at was like I would rather play League. At least League is the fucking game that I know what the meta is, and I know what the unbalanced characters are, right?
Right.
yeah. That's the other thing too, is that these characters, there aren't a whole like there's a decent amount of characters, right? But the balance issues, like you would play a DPS character and not feel like you are doing anything.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
it seems like they had for a while were dropping a lot of new characters, especially during like the Overwatch phase.
right.
But it just seems like they would drop them in and just leave them. Like they didn't really try to tweak them or even balance them at all to fit into the dynamic thing.
That's
So
because
you either had some
shortly after that they went into
really
what's it
overpowered
called,
characters with really weak characters.
yeah, it's because shortly after that they went into not developing for
They
it.
just went to
anymore,
maintenance
so
mode.
it's-
I mean, that's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
That's all they went into. But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, so I mean, that coupled with like again, the couple games that me and Pika played at the very beginning was a blast, right? Me and even I think Scruffy, like well, no, because Scruffy, you know.
No, I joined
Like,
in, and as soon as I joined, it got sweat.
yeah, I don't know what happened with Scruffy. It just
don't know, man.
whatever. But like the
We
few
we had
matches
a,
that-
we had a
that
couple
was
of
it.
games when I joined in that were
yeah,
not that
that were
bad.
fun.
Like,
Yeah, that whatever.
My
but
first
like,
game, I got MVP. After that, it was all losses, like 8
Yeah.
losses.
that's
I
probably
kid you
why.
not.
Is because you got MVP, bro. You just you shoot too
It was
good.
like nerf him, bro.
yeah, so it became sweaty, and I can deal with sweat games. I live in League. I love, I
Live
can't
in
believe
the
I'm
sweat.
saying this. I love Siege, but like
Yeah, buddy.
Let's
but
go.
so I like sweat. It's just I don't know, man. That game, I do want it
Well,
to be
it's-
revived.
that
I
game,
do
the
want it to.
sweat is the remaining players of the game are the ones
Yeah.
who have stuck with it and have never dropped it.
Yeah,
So that's all they know.
Yeah.
That's all they play, and
yeah.
that's why they'll shit on you.
I do want them to.
Was anybody
come
playing
back.
Anduin?
Yeah, I faced one. I faced
Nah.
one Anduin.
Anduin was
Anduin,
OP as hell
I didn't
whenever
see
I
too
tried it
many.
before.
It was thralls. It
Lot
was a
of
lot of
thralls.
what's the shit, I forget his fucking name.
Anduin
It
and
was the-
Diablo were like the two.
Diablo was
There was a
one,
big
yeah,
StarCraft dude that would like
And,
jump to you and pull you back. I forget his
And
name.
Yeah,
Butcher,
Tacitus.
I think Butcher.
Tacitus.
Does he still have the pull?
No,
Butcher
the-
wasn't around as much. Yeah,
I mean,
we
he
saw him,
wasn't-
like once or twice.
Yeah, he wasn't there that too much. You had a lot of Novas. You had a lot of like,
Yeah.
the medevac. I forgot her name. Like Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Morales.
Reynolds or
Morales, yeah.
Morales or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
So I don't know. Also, Greymane. Greymane is a fucking problem. That thing. That he's always been a
pretty much
problem.
Warwick on roids.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just a lot of stuff. I do want them to revive the game. I do want them to actually work on the game because I do see the foundation of a good MOBA, but things need to be tweaked, right? Things need to, and if you're gonna do it, this is the
I don't
time
know.
to do it right now because League is in it's about, I think, to have a really good phase, but it's in a really bad phase right now.
Dude, that preseason has me hyped,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah, but,
that's a
like,
story for
even-
another podcast.
Even
Yeah.
in its current situation where people are really upset with it, I think it's still at a better place than what HOTS.
Oh no, I'm not yet.
In my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, again, I think
I think
if they actually
HOTS'
put love
biggest
into it.
problem is the team leveling, but that's like the defining characteristic.
That's-
It would be
yeah.
like taking one-shot headshots out of Siege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, but that's not what yes, I have played that, but I have not been playing that. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm actually
Sorry
here
to
to talk-
derail it. I was just
No,
very
no,
curious.
no. You're
Wait till
completely
they come
okay.
out with HOTS 2. That'll be their next move. It'll
What
be
I-
a free DLC.
What I have actually been playing and spending a majority of my time on, and we're going to talk a little bit about hardcore, but we're also going to talk about Season of Discovery because that actually just dropped today. And
Little WoW segment.
I've put in some time there. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. I can't.
Now this
Like,
isn't the
obviously-
same hardcore that we talked about before, right? This is different.
This is the official version of hardcore, not the like.
So when we
Not-
talked about it last time, it was
Not
the modded version.
I don't know if
I thought you were only playing the
I was.
official.
I don't think
I
he's
only
never
played
played
the
the modded
official.
version.
Yeah, I never
Yeah,
played the
we
modded. So this
mentioned
is-
the differences, but that
Yeah.
was about it.
This is
Okay.
still the same thing. And again, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking about hardcore. It's just
The only thing that's happened in between is I think he got some dude killed. I remember that.
He's gotten a couple
Specifically.
dudes
I've-
killed. What are you
yeah,
talking about?
I mean, no.
Well, were you wardening or
Yes.
did you bait them to their death?
Baits them to their death and leaves them.
That's not that only happened one
Okay, tell us
time.
the story of this.
100%
Defend yourself,
accurate.
then,
Okay,
Sid.
so that only happened one time, and that was his own dumbass fault. So twice, and it was their own dumbass fault. So the previous version of this was I was playing as a mage, and they were playing as a warrior, and we went into an area that we were on Horde, and we were going out to if you know the quest, it is Insignias. It's where you have to go over in Orgrimmar. There's a cave that you have to go get the insignias off of the these like casters. It's a fucking terrible. In hardcore, any kind of cave is fucking death, right? It's just trouble because the spawns are so small. And so I didn't know, and Enigma informed me, which I wish I would have known that earlier, but we went into this cave. I was he decided to charge. He didn't listen to me when I said I'm and he just decided to keep fighting, and I turned around and left. And it's not my fault that he couldn't outrun my Frost Nova, that Frost Nova
Boy.
to 3 people in front of me, but didn't. And then
Boy
he just kind of wrecked
literally-
it and died. And he
Boy
died.
literally pulled a Shane from The Walking Dead and was just
Yeah.
like, later, bitch,
That
shot
was
him in the
last night.
fucking
Last
thigh.
That was last night. Last night, we were kind of in a similar area, except I was the rogue and somebody else was the the mage.
Were these people that you know?
Nope.
No. Complete
And this
randos.
dude,
But they know him now.
the mage was actually helping me out, and I do feel bad for this one because he was helping me out. His quest was already done. He was level 13, nothing,
my
no big deal, but
gosh.
his quest was already done. He was just kind of there helping me tag a few other enemies to get my kills. And he's like, "Hey, I'm I was like, "Okay, no problem. I'm just gonna pull this one. Like, I can pull it." So I threw the dagger. It missed. So I was like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna stealth up and backstab them, and I should be far enough away. It's not gonna pull the other guys." I was not. It pulled the other fucking people. And then on top of that, the way that we ran, and he chose to run with me, it pulled like 15 guys, and then
Oh my god.
he decided to go to the right when he should have followed me to the left, and it made his health bar go to complete 0, and then he should have stopped attacking, and he frost nova'd, and then they kept it, and they just killed him. And I was like, that sucks for you, man. And I just went stealth and fucking walked off. So that's, it
Just
is what it
left
is.
the scene of the crime.
But
Like I
Yeah.
said, Shane, literally Shane from The
Yeah.
Walking Dead, shot him in the thigh and was like, "Later, bitch."
I didn't get you killed,
Take
Pika.
this as
You
a
got
warning
yourself
if you want to
killed.
play hardcore with Sinan.
Pika, you got yourself killed. You leveled without me, bro. You went up and were doing things without me. That's your fault. Anyway, this kind of is the draw behind hardcore. There is something about it. I can't tell you, like, I can't pinpoint why hardcore is such a intriguing thing to play, because it really is a pain in the ass to get like up to these levels, then
It's a
die.
big waste of fucking time.
But at the same time, it's almost kind of like this Dark Souls element of like, I can do it. I can get up there, right? And I don't know. There's something
I
about
was
it.
gonna say, I thought if anyone would appreciate hardcore, it would be you though, Bill, just because of your challenge runs and stuff.
Yeah, but that's just me being stupid on my own. That's not a company monetizing
Well,
the loss of characters over and over for profit.
Yeah, but there's also
what
a
about
lot
the
of good
private
content.
server? Like, if we're not talking the company base, like, just the
Oh yeah,
idea of it,
the
like,
private mod, I don't care.
yeah,
That's
so it's
100%
just-
fine.
It's just Blizzard and their schemes of taking
Yeah,
all these
Same thing with
ideas.
Diablo hardcore. Like, I don't get it. Like, if I'm gonna play those games, I don't want to like spend 20, 40, 60 plus hours working on a character just for it to get one shot off screen and then me lose all of that time in progress.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
the hardcore stuff on Diablo.
I
definitely
understand the appeal. I
but-
do understand the appeal, but it's an appeal for people that have more time than I do to waste, I
Yeah.
guess.
I will say it changes the way that you do play this game, because there is
Oh,
just,
no doubt.
in MMOs in general, like there is just a haphazardness of like, it doesn't really matter. I can just kind of brute force my way through stuff, and that, and I'll still be okay. Whereas in here, obviously, you are more thought about what am I going to do, how am I going to pull this kind of thing. So it adds a
You can't
strategy
just jump
element
into the
that's-
deep end.
yeah, that I do really enjoy. I can say, like, I've not enjoyed WoW as much as I have this hardcore kind of experience. Now
And this is hardcore classic, right?
this is
Or this
hardcore
retail?
classic. This is hardcore classic. Yeah.
Okay.
They could. I don't think they could do hardcore retail, to be honest. Me and Enigma talked about this. I don't know if they could actually go into retail. I think they could do BC. I don't even know if they could do Wrath without changing a lot of it.
No, you'd have to change it completely. Yeah.
But I think that's about as far as they can go. What I am excited to super talk about, though, is if you don't like beating your head against a wall with hardcore, well, you can join me and who else? And Enigma, put your goddamn camera back on, fucker. Put your camera back on.
It's broken.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay,
Relax.
okay.
Jesus
I thought it was.
fucking
I
Christ.
thought he was running away because of this.
Jesus.
Because that fucker right there is
I'm like,
also
it's
playing.
broken, bro. Fucking relax. Chill your tits. Fuck.
I thought you were trying to hide. That fucker right there is
Jesus.
also playing WoW. He is back. He is playing WoW,
Oh
and
my
I am
God.
super excited about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
Unbelievable.
talk about this. Right. Let's talk
Unbelievable.
about this. All right. Let's talk really quickly. Okay. Bill Scruffy. We have talked so many times, right, over the past, right? How many years have I played World of Warcraft? I've played since the start,
I
right?
don't think you've ever
Right.
played.
Almost
You've
20
always just
years.
you've always just been in
right?
the background. I don't think you really play.
Almost 20 years. And every one of those years, I have been a Horde main, right?
Yeah.
Fuck
I mean,
the
of course,
Alliance.
for the Horde.
For the Horde.
Yeah.
Thrall
even when
is
I play,
best,
I'm a Horde.
Anduin's a little bitch. Fucking every ounce of my will, every ounce of my being is a Horde.
Mhm.
All the way.
Mhm.
This motherfucker comes in today and is like, hey, bro, I know that our friendship will
Mhm.
prevail throughout everything.
It sounds just like him.
You need to play the Alliance with me.
That's definitely how that conversation went. Hey, what's the outcome? What was the character that you just created, Enigma?
And then on top of that, right? He
Oh, no,
tells
yeah,
me,
go ahead.
well,
Finish. Go ahead. Continue.
and then on top of that, he tells me, well, the guild that we're joining is on the Horde. I said, or the guild that we're joining is on the Alliance. And I said, no, the guild you're joining is on the Alliance.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. No, go. Keep.
Your-
There's some parts of the story that you're leaving out.
tells
Just
you-
get to the end.
This
please.
tells you how much I like Sin. Unfortunately, as much as I dislike him, I do somewhat like him. I did make an Alliance character,
Yes, there it is.
even though I
There
do
it
not
is.
want to.
There it is.
We got some Alliance Forevers in the chat,
Yeah.
and any
So-
for the hordes.
My
In the
question
chat.
is, how much?
How much what?
did Sin pay you?
I didn't pay
I
shit.
mean, he better be paying you something.
all
bro.
I said was that we will create a horde character on another. Oh, it's showing my. Yeah, I don't know what this.
I
is.
already know we're gonna create. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, we're creating a horde character on another
it's
server,
happening, regardless if you make one or not.
But what drew Enigma back was and what we're talking about really is the season of discovery. That is what is dropped this today. And if you're unfamiliar with what season of discovery is, it essentially is it's classic plus, if you want to call it that. It's this idea that they basically they've added new areas, new quests.
No.
They've added some new abilities with this thing called runes. If you're a retail, you know about rune forging. That's separate from this. This is basically, you'll find things out in the world through random chests that'll be out there. You'll kill mobs that'll drop these runes. You'll have quests that'll give them. But they essentially allow your character to do different things. So you can have a rogue tank, you can have a mage healer, you can have a little bit more variety with your class, like a warlock tank, right? Than what you would normally have. So it's just a newer version of this game with newer content. We're getting a 10-man raid. It's just and I will tell you, like, popping onto the server. I know Enigma, you've been around, and you were around when, like, with me whenever the game first launched. Like, seeing the servers this populated on Classic is not something like, it's just there is a nostalgic feel of like, wow, this is WoW. Like, this is what WoW was when we first played the game, and I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. I think about, I don't know your thoughts on it so far. We're not that far.
I
into it.
mean, I'm playing an Alliance.
Oh my God. Okay, get past that.
So,
just the fact of why you decided to sign back up.
That tells you everything right there. No, I've been kind of excited ever since they kind of announced Season of Discovery, because it's something that I've already been playing. I've been playing Ascension off and on throughout the last year or so. And if you guys don't know what Ascension is a free to play private server that essentially has no classes. There's no class system in the game, so there's no hunters, there's no warlocks, there's no priests, anything like that. It's all based off of the abilities that you get off of pieces of equipment and off of runes that you can obtain throughout, essentially doing what's essentially Blizzard took Ascension, the idea of Ascension and a couple of other private servers, exactly like they do with a lot of these things, exactly like they did with hardcore, right? And they copied it. But it's a good idea, and I think it brings something fresh to the table, at least for World of Warcraft, and it brings something fresh to the table for me with when it comes to in terms of Classic, because Classic, I get the nostalgia of Classic, but I also remember the bad things about the nostalgia of Classic. Classic was not an enjoyable experience for a lot of reasons, right? It was an enjoyable experience for a ton of reasons, but it had its bad sides as well as its good sides, right? So I'm glad to see that they're at least trying to bring new content in, but at the same time, I'm like, I have some gripes with it. Like, there's a couple of little things, and we were talking about it. Myself and Sin were talking about this just before the podcast started, with like the fact that they are locking everybody to level 25, which makes absolutely no fucking sense. We do not know. It's an indeterminate amount of time as to when we're going to actually be unlocked from 25. I think the next progression is going to be 40, roughly, probably. We don't know how long that's going to be, but if you know anything about World of Warcraft, like, a lot of classes don't really get their bearings until after like 30, 31, somewhere around there. Warriors themselves, like 35 is when they start hitting their big progression spike, right? Like, up until about 30, 35, warriors are extremely, extremely slow when it comes to like leveling. So I'm really curious to see what the reasoning was for the level 25 lock. I have my tinfoil hat ideology of it, and it's because they want to suck as much, subscription time out of their players as possible. But that's just the vindictive side of me that doesn't like Blizzard talking. So
I think it's also probably the most accurate reason.
it's probably the most
Yeah.
accurate, honestly.
I'm good with you
Unfortunately,
on that
yes,
one.
it's probably the most accurate. But we'll see. I'm excited to see. I'm tentatively excited to see some of the changes that they do. I'm looking forward to the warlock. I made a warlock. I made a gnome warlock. And I want to go down the tanking route. They gave warlocks the ability to tank through a rune that turns them into a demon, which is kind of crazy because that's essentially what the demon hunter is. Like the demon hunter tank spec is essentially a tank that turns into a demon and tanks, which is cool because I enjoyed tanking as a demon hunter in Legion. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to some of the changes that they make. Looking forward to see some of the what are they called? The runes? I think they're runes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the runes and the abilities that you can apply to your gear and everything like that. Looking forward to seeing the new raid that they have. I'm hoping it's going to be a good step forward for WoW. They need something because, like, honestly, the last two expansions were pretty rough. I heard the last expansion was decent, and I'm kind of tentatively looking forward to this next season or this next expansion, but I'm still kind of meh,
Okay, so big question: if by chance I were to ever pick up WoW, what class should I play?
Well, okay. Are we talking Season of Discovery? Are you talking Classic?
Just whatever.
The only reason I say this is because there's a lot of things that go into, like, if you're talking Season.
Let's just go vanilla then.
If you're gonna go vanilla, I would. I think
coming from the only MMO that I play White Mage and Dragoon right now. So
yeah, I would probably say like DPS. I would maybe go. I don't know. Maybe I could see a priest because you could do a disc priest, and disc priests can be okay, or even maybe
priest
like a paladin.
Priest was what some of the people in my community said as well.
Disc, you ass.
Priest, yeah, priest or.
I think also shaman. I could see you as a shaman or druid.
Shamans are dope, man.
I could see if we're talking about Season of Discovery and not just vanilla. Like, I think you'd actually really like the new melee hunter. I've heard that it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Sounds like a rogue with a pet.
No, melee hunter. They sacrifice the pet for more. Oh, you don't have to. Obviously, it's not a requirement, but it's a melee hunter that usually it looks like they're going to take the lone wolf rune, which sacrifices your pet for like 30% more damage, essentially.
Big paladin energy. I do like to bomb.
Yeah, I mean the paladin. The nice thing about it is because it gives you the ability to, if you want to tank, you could tank. They're not the best tanks, but you could tank. You could also heal. They're not the best healer, but you can definitely.
They're like a jack
heal.
of all trades character.
I take it back. Actually, I think holy paladins are actually some of the best healers, if I'm not mistaken, in classic, and then they're good DPS. It just depends on like your play style. Because for me, I was always a caster or a tank. So I played warrior and I played mage. Never touched rogue. Would never touch rogue. Actually, was pretty vehemently against rogue. And then in hardcore, I decided to play rogue, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
And who was the
this
one that told
amazing.
you to play it?
I got it, but I also don't like playing I started a paladin in Season of Discovery and saw fucking 50 paladins. Was like, no, fuck this. I'm gonna go play whatever one is not playing. And so I'm playing rogue again, but like I'm really enjoying rogue. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to kind of pinpoint a class that you may enjoy, per se, but you're more than welcome to test it with us.
There's so many races in this game now. Holy shit.
Well, if you're talking retail, yes.
You're looking at retail. Yeah, there's still ridiculous. If you're talking about vanilla, then there's only
there's like 5 different types of elf.
Yeah, that's retail.
Oh, wow.
And if you're talking retail, what class should you play? I actually think you would really enjoy Monk. I think you might enjoy Invoker because you're not like Evoker is the action class that they put into the game, but
you hated Invoker.
I could not. Yeah, I did not like Invoker. I couldn't stand Invoker because I've played WoW for like Enigma. I've been playing for 20 years, right? Since the game has been out. Like I've been off and on and played this game. So if you coming into it and trying to force feed me to to be like, this is an action based combat system, when I know it's not, it
that what they try to
work.
play that class as?
Yeah, like it's
like
moving.
a hybrid.
Yeah,
like it was like a Wild Star class.
not as much as WildStar, but like you
Not
do
really,
have this stuff
yeah.
where like you can cast stuff so that you can do this ability so that you can move and cast, and then like there's things where you like the longer you hold it, you know, it does different damage, and you know if you cast on yourself, it does something different than if you cast on an enemy, and then it's like, you know, you again, there's like cones that you're putting stuff in. It's just weird. It doesn't fit. Where like to me, if you're gonna do action combat, a rogue is great for you know. I think it fits. I think Demon Hunter, it fits. Like the action combat fits there.
They
Right.
did a really good job with the Demon Hunter, I think, personally at least.
So
I know a lot of people don't like the play style,
but yeah, I mean, I would love for you, Bill, to come back. I would love for all us to fucking go back and play.
I was never there to begin with.
Or yeah, to come and play with us and come play WoW. Like I would fucking love it. Right now is a great time with the Season of Discovery because there's no. The cool thing about this and with Season of Discovery, and I encourage anybody that if you played WoW a long time ago and got sick of it, or whatever else, or you never played and you wanted to try it, what makes this so great is because it is that there is no meta. We don't know what is out there right now. It really is a Season of Discovery. We are kind of
what is SOD running off of?
Classic.
Is it classic? Okay.
Classic, yeah.
It runs off
Okay.
Classic. So, you know, it is a whole, like, you know, it's kind of that freshness of WoW again, of being like, we don't know what's out there and what's to come, and there's not been a PTR of this for fucking days and days and days and days and days, right? Like it's new. So
Now,
we're all
I got
experiencing it fresh.
tired of classic pretty fast. I didn't last more than
A
I think,
lot
couple
of
days.
people will, unfortunately.
But you think that Season of Discovery will offer
I mean,
a bit more?
I think that, but also too, I think because
Or do
the
you
reason I
think
say
it'll be the
yes,
same case?
I think there's certain things about Classic you have to understand that is just Classic. Now they have made things more quality of life better, right? But like
Yeah.
there are still things that are still nostalgic, right? Like you're not going to be you are going to do what you're seeing here, right? There is
Well,
running.
obviously, I have none of that nostalgic sense to run off of when it
Right.
comes
So,
to
so
classic.
you kind of have to take yourself to that mindset of like
Yeah.
not MMOs of before of now, but MMOs of the past. You know, and so there are some things that are just kind of like, okay, I'm going to be running and doing, you know, all of this kind of stuff. That's just, why not just allow me to port pretty quickly and whatever, right? But
right.
because there are also so many people playing Season of Discovery right now, and even hardcore, because there's so many people playing it, a lot of that kind of pain point that the quality of life stuff, I will say that goes away. There are some other pain points, right? Like mob tagging. You're sitting here fucking like Enigma was like, there's so many people trying to kill this one group of people, of mobs. You know, they have improved the mob time.
There's a reason why I didn't go hunter. Like I usually, like my original main when I was playing in vanilla was a hunter. There's a reason why I didn't go hunter, is because in order to get a pet, you have to have people not kill the thing that you're fucking looking to get.
Right.
Oh, that's
Like,
annoying.
Good luck with that.
So there's, you know, I would say that, again, I would love for you to come and try it. I'd love for everybody, the whole crew, to come and try it, you know, and
give it a
jump
shot.
in. I think that there is a lot of cool. This is the thing. Like, if you're going to jump into WoW, you have to jump in either when something is new and launches, like a expansion, or this, right? Season of Discovery, classic hardcore, when the world is encased and everybody is playing this game, right? Like, you're not going to feel like a dead, you know, it's not going to feel dead, because part of classic, and I think why you didn't like it, was because you were walking around the Barrens and it was fucking barren. There is nobody fucking there. Like, there's no one there.
So boring.
Yeah, good luck doing that now with Season of Discovery. There's gonna be you're gonna have the opposite. You're gonna be like, I fucking wish there was not so many people here. I don't know, man. It's fucking good. Like,
Okay.
and I'll tell you right now,
I mean,
if you guys
I'm still playing Final Fantasy 14 right now, but if I ever hit a burnout period with that, I might pick this up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I mean, I will make the commitment to Enigma if you guys all join. If you guys play, maybe minus Bill, because like it sounds like he may not join right now. But if you guys join, and Scruffy, if you decide to join, I will fucking delete my character right now. We will go make a horde on Lone Wolf, and we can play horde. I will bite the bullet and say fuck the guild that I am in, and I will go play horde with you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna
So-
go undead. I'm not doing Barons. I hate fucking Barons.
Bro,
I hate fucking leveling Barons.
I'm telling you, man. There's so many better races in fucking Horde. Come on now.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Then
So-
undead.
He's over here playing
no,
a
no, no,
basic
no.
bitch
No.
human.
No. Well, human is great for rogues. They get sword specialization. Why would you not? If you're
Basic
gonna be a rogue.
bitch human.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyway.
I was actually thinking about doing an undead as well.
Yeah.
Undead Horde.
I mean,
See?
I'm
Let's
fine
go.
with undead. I mean,
See?
that's
Everybody
that's-
agrees with me.
Oh
Yep.
my.
I like
anyway.
that. Thank you guys. Everybody agrees with me.
Anyway.
Oh man.
So yes, so Season of Discovery, it's out now. Go check it out. It is. Poor Pika feels like I fucking hate you. Oh
Has he been
man.
working on his alliance?
Again,
Yeah.
though, just to stress it
No.
as much as possible, though, like I am very interested to see how long they are going to keep us at 25, because that's going to be key for like. There's already people that are almost like 25 as of right now. I'm willing to bet that there's probably multiple people that are already 25 in the game right now. Like, it's just such a weird thing for them to lock us to that. It just makes no sense to
Yeah.
me. But
So, okay, well, that is what I've been
Wow.
playing. Let's talk about this game that nobody wants to play except for Scruffy. At
Dude,
least
Sorry,
within our,
Scruffy.
at least within our
nuts,
group.
man.
At least with
Yeah,
our
I
group.
guess-
This group right
I
here,
thought it would
these
be
four.
a hit too, so it's kind of sad that it's not. But yeah, the game that Sin is referring to is the new hit co-op horror game Lethal Company. This game's kind of been like taken like the platforms by storm right now, like all the streaming and TikTok and everything. I'm seeing so many clips of it. And essentially what this game is, if I can really define it in any way, it's, if you guys are familiar at all with the SCP games, or just SCPs in general, it takes a mix of like that environment, mix it with like a horror extraction game. And you pretty much get like sent down into this world, or you fly to planets. You go in with like a group. It's supposed to be 1 to 4. In the clip I'm showing here, we have modded it. The game is got full mod capability, so there's a lot of stuff you could do. But we've got a bigger lobby size, so we've got about 9 people in this. And I wouldn't necessarily compare it so much to Tarkov, because the only similarity is the like you're extracting like loot and stuff, but everything else, you're PvE, you're going up against these like monsters and everything. And like I was saying, you fly down into planets, you go into these like bunkers and POIs, you look for loot, but all the while you start out like on lower tier like difficulty planets, and you'll be like chased by you know, these like different monster like variants, and each monster is like different. You know, they have all like different like ways you have to dodge them and run from them, and you can even kill some of them. So like just one, for example, is like one that's called a coil head. If you're
I was
familiar
about to
at
ask
all
you about the coil head.
with the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who, just like that, you look at it and it can't move, but as the minute anybody takes its eyes off of it, it goes like super speed and it'll snap your neck in a second. So you always have to have at least like one person looking at it, you know. There's another one that works kind of like it called the Bracken, except this guy will stalk you from afar and you have to look at it and back away slowly. If you don't, or you go in its direction, it'll also run up to you, and this one will drag your body away back to its like room or something. So it's nuts, man. And there's even like so many more monsters. I don't even think I've seen them all yet. I've only played about like 10 or so hours of this game, but what really makes it is just the dynamic and the co-op dynamic of you know, going into this place. It's proximity chat, so you already know that you're going in, you're hearing your friends all screaming and running and shit, and as soon as one of their mics cuts, you know they got their neck snapped or something. Man, that's what I think the most like enjoyment comes out of it right there, is it, because I will say, like, though I have not played much of it and I don't know like the loop dynamic of it, it is kind of like a rogue like in a way, but it's more long term, because each time you go into a planet, you are tasked with a quota to fill, and you have to extract with enough loot to then fill that quota, go back to the like merchant planet or something, sell that loot, and then you go back onto the next planet. But if you leave a planet without filling that quota, you all get the run ends. You get ejected from the back, and you have to restart completely. So it's got that loop to it that it's kind of like a roguelike.
Is there are you leveling up your character, or like
you're not? No, you're not. You're leveling up. You're not leveling up. You're making money. You're making money to buy better equipment. Kind of like Phasmo, you're buying flashlights, walkie-talkies. You're buying stuff for your ship. You can buy like teleporters and inverse teleporters. Like the teleporter will you can take somebody out of the bunker. You can teleport them, like beam me up, Scotty kind of type deal. Except if you do that, they drop all of their current gear, so they can't actually extract with it. Or in the inverse teleporter, you teleport them into a random area in that bunker. And they usually die pretty fast because they also can't bring anything. There's jetpacks, shovels. That's like your main weapon, or a stop sign. You saw somebody holding a stop sign. You'll see that. That's like if you can kill the enemy, that's like your main weapon. Or I think there is a
bro literally just ran by a fucking
electric
mine
gun or something. Yeah, those are mines. You want to be careful of those.
Oh, look like he was careful. Looks like he just decided to fucking run.
Right? He's just like running right past it. I'm like,
Scruffy's
Well, I
like
mean, if you
crouching, and
know
everybody
what
else
it
is
is.
just like, nah, whatever.
I think this was this might have been my second time playing. I'm still nervous as shit. They all have been playing for a couple of days now. So I'm coming into this fresh. But oh god, that's a thumper right there. That's one of the monsters. If it sees you, it'll chase you endlessly. But if you jump on something and somebody smacks it with a shovel, you can kill it. So there are ways to kill the monsters, but not all of them. Some of them are invincible. Like the little girl.
Is there only
that'll
one
be
monster?
Enigma's favorite.
Like, is there only one monster in the
No.
run? Like in this
No.
stage?
We're only seeing one right now because it's like a tier 1 planet. But once you get to tier 3 planets and such,
How many tiers are there?
that I actually don't know. I have not played that much to get past tier 3.
I don't know if I like that answer better or worse than an actual answer. The mystery kind of intrigues me.
Yeah, I want to say there's more than 3. Right there, that's a flea. So I whack it off his head with that stop sign.
You did what to
Go
that
ahead.
flea? Bro,
Whacked it off his
don't
head.
whack off a flea.
Dude, man. Giant
You
ass
definitely don't
flea.
do it with a stop sign.
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
I forget what I was saying, but dude, the game's awesome, man. I mean, it's only $10. It was made by one developer, like a 20-year-old kid. Like, I give him props. Like, he made a solid, just enjoyable time, man. I think
Kind of reminds me of, has a little bit of Get Out energy,
yeah,
or GTFO.
GTFO. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, definitely has that energy to it.
I mean,
Also, go ahead.
I can see. I mean, it's taken the. I can say it's taken the Twitch world by storm. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
It's
a
a
lot
very
of people.
clip-worthy game. That's why
The new Among Us,
Yeah.
it is the new Among Us, the new Phasmo, because
new
these,
Fall Guys.
yeah, man. These horror co-op games, just they blow up, man.
Well, I
if
mean,
they're done
I
well.
think I what I love about it, and it's not. I mean, I I'm not gonna say I'll never play it. Like I could, maybe get into it or something like that. But it's taking the genre of Phasmo, right, and
Yeah.
and doing something different with it, which I commend it. Like that is what gaming is supposed to be about, right? It's supposed
Definitely.
to be taking something that is good, tweaking it,
Oh, no,
and making
the
it different and
goo.
better. So,
Dungeon Slime's the worst.
Yeah, dude.
I think that it's got a cool premise, and I think it's very interesting. I am interested to see how long it can have legs for. At $10 you don't expect, I don't think you expect much, but like how
Right.
long can it really stick around? Like, is it
It's got
are the
a solid
dungeons
foundation. I
are the
mean,
dungeons random? Like I saw random
They are
seed.
they are procedurally generated. Yeah, every planet has a new seed. There are, again, I've only played 2 dungeons right now. I don't know if there's more than 2, but it's like this bunker-looking dungeon, and then this royal kind of mansion, like Renaissance kind of mansion type
That's cool.
vibes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool, man. There's enough monster variants that I'm still finding new ones.
I think
What-
it has the potential to have a little bit more longevity than like Dark and Darker. or anything
I
like
think
that.
so, man. I think that you have that longevity in adding more monster types, more planet dungeon types, more gear that users can play with and shit like that. Yeah,
Well, I
That's gonna
think
be your
definitely.
biggest issue is depending on what they have upgrading. Like that was my biggest problem with Phasmophobia for a while, was just like,
Yeah,
okay, so I'm upgrading to buy more fucking flashlights. Cool.
yeah.
yeah, like
This
that's,
game, at
that's
least, there's a lot of more. There's more stuff it offers you to be able to buy.
yeah, but I
Right.
think that they need that. That's the biggest thing. Like you say Dark and Darker, and I actually disagree, because Dark and Darker has you're investing in your character, you're leveling up your character, you're getting spells, you're getting abilities, there's reasons to continue to keep deep diving into the dungeons and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where here it's kind of like,
I was
like,
talking purely from a player-based standpoint.
oh, okay. But yeah, I think Enigma, you hit it then on the head, as well. As just like, what is the
That's just
purpose
the
to
big-
keep
yeah.
driving me to go down?
Once,
like once I
you get to a
experience
certain
it,
point, yeah.
it's cool. Like,
Right.
maybe, and not to say you're going to experience all the monsters, because maybe there is an infinite amount of monsters that you're going to experience, but that can only hold for so long, right? Where you've
Yeah.
got to have a reason for me to continue to want to keep diving into this.
I
I
know,
think
I
so
still
too.
have
I think
that
they
issue.
need some
I
sort
still
of
have
ulterior
that issue with
motive.
Phasmophobia is like, yeah, once you've kind of ran into every ghost, you kind of understand what the fucking ghost does, and then after that it's just once you get a couple of instances, you're like, oh, it's an Oni, or oh, it's a fucking this, it gets to a point where, to me at least, there's not really a reason to play anymore once you kind of figure it out.
Yeah, I what I think would really benefit them is if they added something outside of the game itself, like something to work towards, kind of like how Tarkov has like the that workshop or whatever, you're building up your bunker or something in Tarkov,
Right.
Yeah.
something to build up on the outside, because like I said, these are like just runs that if you
Well,
lose, you lose everything.
Even if
so
you were to
just
build
restart.
like you took, because obviously you guys have modded it, so there's 9, but like even
Yeah.
if you take like four people and say, hey, like this person, I have the ability to be able to like map out the dungeon or something,
like assign roles and stuff.
yeah, or something like that, or like, hey, I
I
can
think
revive
that's not
somebody,
a-
right? Like I could revive whatever, a person that's down.
Yeah.
Adding that kind of stuff like that now adds
not
a whole
far
other
off.
element.
Because they kind of do almost have. I mean, it's not the game hasn't added roles, but it's like
Yeah.
the players have decided to like make the people roles. There's one guy who stays on the ship, much like Phasmo. That checks the monitors and is able to use a terminal to like open and close doors inside of the bunker, or like disable mines for like a couple seconds. So like it
Yeah.
gives the people inside another like alternate ways to go, or stuff like that, or
Yeah.
you can potentially save them from being chased by a monster, or lock
and-
them in with a monster.
Yeah,
That's,
and there's some discussion in chat. Like, we're not saying that like these type of games don't
Yeah.
have a longevity. They can't have a longevity because
Let
they
me-
can.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's
they
just
have to-
let me
they
just
have to-
reiterate. Let me just reiterate. Like, that's on me, and I told Scruffy this when he was on
Yeah.
us to play this game. Was like, it's on me. Like, this just doesn't seem like the kind of game that I would enjoy playing for those very specific reasons. I'm not saying that it's a bad game. I'm
No,
not saying
no.
the Phasmophobia is a bad game. I've put a lot of hours into Phasmophobia, playing with friends and everything like that. I'm just saying, to me, at a certain point, once I've seen everything, I get to a point where I'm just like,
Right.
I've already done it all. I'm good.
Yeah.
There's just
That's
no
the thing.
drive
Is
to
like these
keep it going.
pop-up games, they need to keep up with them, and they
Yeah.
need to jump on it. Like
I
Yeah.
think
and
I
not
know.
let it
I think
peter.
Phasmophobia does a really good job with that. Like, Phasmophobia is a
Especially with the
really good.
custom-
yeah,
The challenge
Yeah,
game
they-
modes and stuff, and they've
they
actually
do-
upgraded, so you have to upgrade your gear like different
Yeah,
tiers.
that's
of
what I
gear.
was about to say. It was like recently with their last upgrade, they actually have like different upgrade like trees for certain certain pieces of equipment, and each upgrade tree gives you better better outcomes from that piece of equipment. So I realize that it's just me. Like, to me that gets boring after a while, and I
Right.
get bored of it. I'm not saying that's for everybody. Like, I'm sure that there are people out there that have an enjoyable time and can put thousands of hours into these games. I just can't do it.
Is this VR? Can you do this? Play this in VR?
I don't think so, but you know what? If
It'd
it's
be an
not
easy
gonna
game
be,
to port to VR, honestly.
yeah, if it's not going to be ported by the dev itself, I'm sure there'll be a mod. I can already guarantee you that'll happen.
I think that would also add an element that would be really,
Oh, it'd be a
good.
great VR
For
game.
sure.
Yeah, 100%.
In it. So again, kudos to the developer who developed
sure.
the game. Did you
Zeekers.
Zeekers?
That's just one developed and published. I think it's just from what I heard, he was like a Roblox developer.
It's pretty
So,
dope.
Well, yeah.
man,
again, congrats to
21-year-old
him,
kid.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's taking the gaming.
What's the name of the
world by
game again?
storm.
Lethal Company.
Yeah.
Lethal Company.
Yep, $10. Boom.
Awesome. Well,
There you
maybe
go.
I'll pick it up and check it out. If I pick this up, you have to play WoW. There you go.
Okay, deal.
There you
That's
go.
a deal.
All right.
There we go.
I don't know. I think you're getting the worst end of that deal there, Scruffy.
I might
Oh
be.
my Anyway,
You paying for my sub?
I am not paying for your sub.
Damn it.
I will not do that. All right. Well, this is now the section where we move on to gaming news, and we talk about kind of all of the things that we have found to be kind of the most interesting. Now, again, I do want to clarify because someone asked me, just being like, "How come you didn't cover this topic? How come you didn't cover this topic? Whatever else." Well, the exact same reason that someone will go to watch one movie and not go to another, or they'll read one book and they don't go to another book, or click on a link and they don't click. We cover topics that we as a group collectively find interesting and discuss within the gaming space. We can't cover every single news article that happens. And
That'd be a long ass podcast.
and to be 100% fair, most of the gaming sites fill their stuff with random bullshit anyway. So it's most of the stuff is just filler crap. Where we try to hit on some of the bigger things. So each one of these articles is brought to you by one of the members of the crew of the podcast. So all right, well, let's sit here and talk about Bethesda. I think Bill, this was yours.
Bill.
Bethesda was responding to
mean,
negative Starfield reviews on Steam.
Yeah. So this is something that Bethesda has done in the past, and they just, I think this week, started doing it with Starfield reviews. The PR team, or I don't even know what team Bethesda would assign.
It's their PR
doing.
team. Yeah.
It is the PR team. They have taken to Steam and they hit the negative reviews button, and then every single one of the negative reviews, at least the more like upvoted and trending negative reviews, they comment on it and try to reason with why the person who left the negative review was wrong. And
So
it's,
do they reply in the? Can
yeah,
you
they
reply in
reply
a Steam?
directly to.
Yeah,
they
they
reply
reply in
directly
Steam
to.
comment.
You can go
Yeah.
to Steam now and pull them up. It's a weird thing, and they did it with Fallout 76 when Fallout 76 was getting mass reviewed. The PR team went out and went to Steam and would directly respond to Steam reviews.
these are whole
I don't know if they're
essays.
trying to damage control with this, but it feels really weird. Like, I understand like wanting to get to know your community and like be transparent and stuff like that, but it almost seems like combative in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
It is
find
almost
it
already-
extremely
wow.
odd, especially considering
It's-
like they're the only
it's
like
literally the-
major dev studio that I know that does this. And the whole
Yeah.
point of them doing this is, I think, because Starfield did not.
Oh, it's
review.
getting reviewed badly. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
getting review bomb. I wouldn't say review bomb. They're getting
Yeah,
fairly
they're
reviewed,
not getting the reviews they wanted.
But what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, it's essentially what it comes down to is it's antisocial people going out and trying to be social. Like that's
Yeah. I mean, here-
unfortunately that's probably the case. It's people that don't really have very good social skills going
Yeah.
out and trying to flex social skills. Like it's just gonna
one of the
it's
one
not
of-
gonna go well.
one of the responses.
Yeah, like
were
for
shown-
for instance, somebody left a negative review saying that the loading screens in between fast travel and all that really took them out of the game, and they cannot recommend it because of this. Like, they would have rather had more fluid travel instead of loading screen on loading screen on loading screen. Their response was, while there may be loading screens in between fast traveling, just consider the amount of data for the expansive gameplay that is procedurally generated to load flawlessly under 3 seconds. We believe that shortcoming will not hinder our players from getting lost in the worlds we create.
Yeah,
No.
it's A lot of this stuff.
I-
A lot
I-
of this stuff.
I
you
think
just
Basically,
can't.
the loading
It's-
screens are necessary. You're wrong.
Yeah.
I think the one that really you should have focused on was the one where they were like, well, I go down onto these planets, and every planet, where was it? Here, it says, Starfield is an RPG with hundreds of hours of quests to complete and characters to meet. Most no, that's not the wrong one. Where was it? Whatever it was, just to reiterate, it's like he basically was complaining about the fact that he goes down on planets and most of the planets are dead.
This
There's
one right
nothing
here.
on them.
Yeah.
This one.
We're sorry that you do not like landing on different planets and are finding many of them empty. Some of Starfield's planets are meant to be empty by design, but that's not boring.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
and if you continue reading down into one of them, I think they equate it to like the moon landing. They're
Yeah,
like,
it's right. It's right here. We're
if
showing it on
the,
screen.
the people that landed on the moon, there was nothing on the moon either, but that was certainly an exciting fucking moment. And it's like, dude, it's a game. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not actually going up into
They're-
space, Bethesda.
We're
This
being
isn't that
immersive.
life changing.
oh god.
And I actually,
The thing
I
is,
think,
like, they're coming to Steam and replying to these Steam reviews when Steam is definitely just not the place, because a lot of these too, like, granted, you will have like some actual people who review games on Steam and actually put work into it. But a lot of them are trolls. Like, this one literally just says Starfield makes Fallout 4 look like a masterpiece, and they replied to it like, sorry you felt that way. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and
It's,
that's
you know-
the biggest thing. I could understand if it was like purposefully misleading negative reviews
Yeah.
or like factually inaccurate reviews where they wanted to like maybe change somebody's opinion. Like, hey, you actually do have this wrong. If you do this, this will be like
Right.
correcting people, maybe helping them with their. It just feels weird that they're going out of their way to
Yeah.
kind
Granted,
of
a
write
lot of
off
these
the game's
are-
shortcomings.
are just copy pastas though too, like blatantly. Like they have one guy just going through all these, like, just pasting the same thing, but some of them are.
I mean, here's what I will say, right? I'm kind of playing a devil's advocate here, and it's not on the fact of that they're right doing this, but in a time frame where companies are laying people off left and right, closures of studios are happening. This one person has a job that is literally like, hey man, you're gonna spend the next umpteen amount of months going through Steam reviews. Like,
my God.
I will just say, hey, I mean, it's not the right
I'd
way
be-
of
I'd
doing
go
it. It's not that,
crazy.
but the guy's got a job, so like,
He's got a job.
that
Yeah.
person,
I-
he or she has a
I
job.
can respect that.
So
I can
but
respect that.
it's not. It doesn't. These are canned responses. That I
Yeah.
do think that maybe. I mean, it's not necessarily canned in the sense that like he has a sheet that they have a sheet that they're literally just pulling. Okay, this person said this about Planet. We're gonna insert this. I mean, some of this stuff like
A lot of them are.
Maybe it's
but
an
not-
AI.
maybe
Maybe
it
it's an AI.
GTP.
yeah,
It
but,
could be.
But I mean, it is. I will say like I think if you want to do something like this, hold like Diablo holds a campfire. Do they answer a lot of these hard-hitting questions? No, right? But that's the spot where if you want to go in and kind of defend your decision-making and talk about it, great. Do a
Actually talk
campfire.
about it.
Well,
Yeah.
I also think it's one of those instances of like, for a lot of these replies that they did, like the reply to the planets being dead and everything like that, like, you don't need to reply to that shit. We understand.
Yeah.
It's been brought up multiple times that the planets are dead. We get it. You've
That's my whole
addressed
thing.
it.
Is like, what is this really like serving a purpose? Like, I don't see their goal in this.
I think it's a thing of. I honestly believe
it's
that
not gonna
Bethesda
change
saw
anything.
no, but what they're trying to validate and is their decision to one stay on the creation engine that we've all said is too old.
They
It should
need
not
to
have been
drop
that. They should have updated it, right? And also too, like, they are going and looking at going, hold on one second. Like, Skyrim was this beloved game. This is Skyrim in space.
Yeah.
Why is this not beloved, right? Well, when you go to space, you change a lot of things. There's a lot of emptiness that you have to fill that void with. Also, too, you created a game in 2023 on the premise of a game that was made fucking 15 years ago. 10 years
Yep.
ago. So it doesn't work, and I think they're trying to validate their own decision making and trying to understand of like, hey, why does everybody not love this game as much as they loved Skyrim or Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3 or Fallout 4, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a Bethesda fan.
Yeah.
If it's not apparent, I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
but I could still like just say like, they just they've lost it. You know, they've lost the touch. And they're not in touch. It seems with what what Bethesda games used to be.
I don't
right?
even know if I don't even know if they've lost touch. I think that this is a situation of if this game would have been on a different engine, I think this game would have actually been a lot different.
That would have changed everything.
I don't think it would, because the actual concept of the game, where they went into it and where they developed it and how they developed it, I just think was not necessarily. It's not a game that was. I mean, I don't know. I obviously wasn't a developer, but it feels like in the way that they developed it, it was not a game that was meant to appease the masses, right? Whereas like Skyrim, you have certain things that other people are going to have that they're going to enjoy, and then there's certain other things that
I think they thought it would though
too. I think they did too. But this game is it's a very specific genre. It's a space, quote unquote, simulation that they tried to push out to the masses, and
as soon as they saw that glimpse of hype that everyone was like giving it, they rode into that 100%.
They definitely did ride on the hype too. That's one thing that I will say about fucking Bethesda recently is like they need to stop it with the fucking hype, right? Like Elder Scrolls 6,
Todd Howard up.
Elder Scrolls 6, there was no reason, and I said this back when they released that stupid fucking trailer, quote unquote trailer, that was literally just an expanse of fucking nothing with a title on it, right?
Yeah.
There was zero reason for them to release that trailer. We knew that they were developing it. You didn't need to tell us. But the only reason why they did that was to create more and more hype for a game, and that's the big Cyberpunk. This game, Fallout 76, Fallout 4, even Elder Scrolls 6, all those games are going to suffer from the same situation of overhyped, overpromised, and underdelivered.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: can Bethesda make a game in 2023 or 2020? Now, let's say 2024 forwards. Can they make a game that fits the world that we now live in when it comes to video games?
Elder Scrolls 6 is their last chance. I feel like if they can't hit the nail on the head with Elder Scrolls 6.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm not saying that they can't make a game.
Like
I'm
a new
saying
IP?
No. Do they have the capability, do you think, within the scope of their company and leaders to get away from like innately what I think the problem is, which is the idea of Skyrim, the idea of Fallout, the idea of like, because
I think they can, and they did this year with Hi-Fi Rush.
Tried,
and their subsidiary teams, they know how to make good games. Hi-Fi Rush is good. The Doom games were extremely good.
Let's really quickly back up. Like, Starfield was a decent game.
I'm not saying it's bad.
It was not a bad game.
I'm not saying it's bad.
It just wasn't a good game for everybody.
Well,
But
again,
you can look at it and see that is at its core a 10-year-old ideology that they made into
the
this.
biggest problem is that, again, I think I do agree with you in the fact that, like, on Creation Engine, no, if they stick with Creation Engine, they are stuck to what they have right now.
Yeah.
Which, as far as I know, Elder Scrolls 6 is not on Creation Engine. I could be wrong on that. I thought that they changed to
I think they went to UE5.
I think they went to UE5.
I'm not entirely sure on that. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll see. But yeah, if they stick with Creation Engine, no, I don't think that they can. That engine is just so old and so outdated that no matter how much spit, polish, sweat, tears, gum, super glue you put into that bitch, it's never going to be Unreal Engine.
It feels like Bethesda is so stuck in this nostalgic ideology of like, you know, we captured it once in a bottle, right? Or maybe twice in a bottle, right? Lightning in a bottle. That they keep going back to that same bottle to try to pull the lightning out, and it's like, guys,
it's because that's what they know. They're a development team that is too afraid to move outside of the box, essentially.
Yeah, they don't have many tricks up their sleeve.
Well, that's what I was going to. Like, do you guys think that it's possible to do that going forward, right?
I think it's possible. I do think that they could do it.
They stick to the grindstone and just keep their mouths shut. I think it's possible too, because like it really is killing them that they are riding
Well,
on this hype.
I
That's-
see nothing as of
that's
3
fine,
months
then.
ago that it's going to be on anything other than Creation Engine 2.
Huh. I could have sworn that there was a
Because
rumor or
Starfield's been
something.
the
It
only
was a
game that's been
rumor.
on Creation Engine 2. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have developed that engine without, like, for one single game.
Yeah.
Well,
But I would
Starfield-
love to be
I
proven
will
wrong.
say at least
Yeah.
the engine did get some improvements, not many, but some.
Yeah. And the one
so
thing
we'll
I
see.
mean,
that I will say
the-
that
the
kind
engine-
of ties us
the
back in. Go ahead.
I was about to say Starfield looks better than Fallout 4. Like
Oh,
Starfield,
100%.
And
every
does
time they
feel better, too.
every subsequent release that they come out with, and I'll give it to them to be able to do that and to be able to push forward like fidelity, graphic fidelity, and everything like that every time they bring out a new game or a new franchise is impressive in and of itself, right? The problem with it is that like is they just can't go that extra mile, and I do think that it's the creation engine that is bottlenecking them. I do think it's the creation engine, and it's a lot to do with the fact that, again, like we were saying, the mentality of Bethesda is like, we're stuck, we can
Yeah.
only make
What we know. like,
Fallout, we can
yeah.
only make Elder Scrolls, you know, like
Yeah.
that's even Starfield is just Fallout and Elder Scrolls put together with space, right? Like
Right.
that's all that it is.
Bill,
Right?
you were saying
Like, they-
something too?
Yeah, sorry, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Bill, but I just had to.
No,
get
you're
that
good.
before-
You're good. My one concern is that they're just doing the creation engine just because it's so easily
It's easy,
moddable and the
yeah.
mods
and they
like,
know it.
carry the
Yeah.
game. But to bring it back into the article itself, I would rather see a team do something like this, even if it is kind of silly and out there, than be completely zero transparency whatsoever, like completely locked
yeah,
in, shut in, not talk to the community, just take the game, eat it, like what
I don't know.
Activision does.
I
It's
kind
not,
of,
it's not, it's not a bad thing. I just still don't see their
I kind of,
motives against it with it.
I kind of juggle with it sometimes, right? Like there's instances like this where it's like you just need to shut the fuck up, right? Like Bethesda, you just need to shut the fuck up and just let them be, you know, let them review your game, how they're going to review
Again,
it,
it's
and let the
Steam.
dice and
Like-
let the dice roll, right? But then
I
there's
don't-
other points where I'm like, you need to shut the hell up and act like
Well,
I always forget like Sean Murray and the guys from Starfield, not Starfield,
Hello Games.
No Man's Sky. Yeah, Hello Games.
No Man's
Yeah,
Sky, and
No
then
Man's
Hello
Sky.
Games, right? You need to take a book or a page out of their book and shut the fuck
Well,
up, but
even-
fix your game.
Even
Right.
like I think even like with CD Projekt Red, right? We had this with Cyberpunk. The game launched and they went into PR spin mode.
They
of
went into
like
P-
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
to we got to spin this, put fires out, and then they finally were like, you know what? We're gonna fucking just sit
Just
with
shut
it.
the hell up and fix
and
it.
we're gonna
Yeah.
It's just kind
drop
of weird
something
how
that makes it
late
better.
into the game this is all coming out to, though. Like,
I mean,
if
it's
they
not
were
really late
doing
in the
Yeah.
game.
this-
I mean, you're
It's
only
not
talking
really,
what?
yeah.
I mean,
No,
when did
I
Starfield
mean,
launch? September.
It
You got-
in a few
also
months now.
You got to
it
remember
also
that it's
hit
also
at a
coming off the
pivotal
heel.
point with
What?
Steam. I believe Starfield just went into mixed on Steam reviews.
It did, yeah.
So
it
I
went
think
from
that was
mostly
the
positive.
tipping
From
point
mostly to,
where
yeah.
they
But
where they threw the PR team at it.
You also got to remember that this is coming off the heels of only getting a nomination for the Game Awards, right?
I think
Like,
that
granted-
caused some problems with them too.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
think that
caused
really
some
hurt them as
serious
well.
issues.
Because I think that Todd Howard and Pete Hines, if he was still there, I think even then, I think Pete Hines was still to the point that they were like, this is going to be Game of the Year contender, and it wasn't.
Well, they thought that from the very beginning. They that was their intentions for this game to be Game of the Year.
And the little cherry on top that I'll put on all of this, you know, is that I think it sums up Starfield. Starfield again is not a bad game, right?
Yeah.
But when I booted up Starfield and played Starfield, I literally played it for, you know, maybe an hour at most, and I was like, all of this feels better in other games, so I will just go play those games, like, because the draw of Starfield and what it is not enough to keep me playing a game that doesn't feel as good as No Man's Sky or Elite
Well, to
Dangerous
be-
or whatever else.
to
And
be
I know it's
fair
not.
as
I know it's
well,
not trying
though-
to compete with those. I'm just saying.
No, that's not what I was gonna. To be fair though, you really don't like story, and the
Well, even-
entire premise behind Starfield was to get into the story.
But I liked Fallout 4. I played Fallout 4. I liked Fallout New Vegas. I liked Skyrim. I played all of those games because in those world, I don't feel like I am like so in like have to just follow the storyline. Like I do want to clear one thing. I don't hate story. I just don't want to feel like the only thing I am doing is just that story.
See,
So,
my only retort to that is like I played Starfield for I want to say like 80 hours, and I got 10% into the story.
No, absolutely. Again, I'm not flagging it for the story. I'm flagging it for
there's no push to do the
story. But in Starfield compared to the other games, it is harder in the beginning
I wouldn't really say that it's harder. They force you to do the introductory quest like every Bethesda
but
game.
I don't care about that. I'm not talking about the story. I don't care. Like that's not my issue. My issue was never
it just takes a little longer to free roam.
Well, I don't even care
Not
about
really,
that.
though. It really doesn't.
I'm not even talking about that. Screw the fucking story. Screw like the way that they direct you. I don't care. I'm talking about literally flying the ships, doing the gunfights, the way that you engage with the worlds, the way the world feels, like anything about it. Like there are just things where I'm just like, I would literally rather go play No Man's Sky or Elite Dangerous or Fallout or Skyrim or something else that just it feels better than what I am playing right here. Not from a story perspective, not from like, you know, I actually would say like I was more engaged with the reason of the story with the characters that I was, and again, very short amount of time. You're talking 1 hour, right? Like very short amount of time.
I think you played less than an hour.
But it's still just and I have it on Game Pass. I didn't pay for it. I could go play it whenever I want. But it's just like there's the mechanically and functionally, it did not feel as good as some of these other games that I would rather go play. Like, and I think that's where a lot of these people are talking about too. Like the world, like the planets feel empty. If No Man's Sky didn't exist, if Elite Dangerous, I don't even think fuck Elite Dangerous. If No Man's Sky or whatever didn't exist, I don't think that people are gonna be complaining about like the world feels, you know, as empty. Like Todd Howard.
The last argument that I'm going to have is if we're comparing dead planets to each other, Star Citizen, Starfield, as well as No Man's Sky. Like No Man's Sky, for the predominant of their fucking planets, it's the same planet. There's nothing really different about
the resource hubs.
There are 100%. But the feeling, again, this all goes to the mechanics of the game. The feeling of I'm gonna pop from this planet, hop off of that planet. No load screen. Though there are load screens in No Man's Sky, you don't feel them as much. I'm gonna warp down onto another planet, land, and then I may see the same enemies. I may see the same. It feels different than what it does in Starfield. I mean, and if that wasn't the case, I don't think that these would have been issues, these problems. That's all I'm saying. So,
all right.
Anyway, Starfield's not a terrible game.
And you know what is at least in a couple years they'll have another chance with Starfield when they come out with their remaster.
Yeah, and their Game of the Year and all that other kind of stuff. So
Game of the Year remaster, play it on a fridge.
Maybe Amazon will pick it up and we'll have a TV show like what they did with Fallout. So
right.
Moving on to our next topic. You guys better get a lot of shorts out of that. I swear to God, we spent half the show talking about it. Which, by the way, was supposed to be a quick hit. But in any case, Fallout, the TV series we've gotten our first look at characters. I know this is all you guys, right? Especially Scruffy, right? I'm gonna let you take it away here, right? You know more about
me,
this.
bro. What are you talking about?
Sure, I said you guys. I said you guys.
I mean, me and Enigma. But yeah,
I enjoyed Fallout 3.
We're getting more info on the Fallout TV series. Really, all this is they've just gave us a glimpse of like some more screenshots and whatnot of the set and the characters and kind of the world that we're getting, and hey, I think it looks pretty good, honestly. From the early leaks that I saw, I did get a little glimpse of hope. We keep saying, it's Amazon, but I won't lie that Amazon does have some good originals, like their TV shows. Some.
I would have trusted
predominantly though, most of them.
I would trust Apple with this.
I would have trusted Apple more. Yeah.
I mean, when you look at their Lord of the Rings adaptation, terrible.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, like they got The Boys and Invincible. They got some good, you know, shows on there too. But so I've got a little hope. And seeing these screenshots, it hasn't really deterred at all. I mean,
it's like I said when we were talking about it in the podcast chat, right? Like, all the Amazon needs to do is stick to the fucking story.
Yeah.
And have decent costumes and decent set designs and all that shit. And so far, granted, depending on the timeline, we don't know where the timeline is. We don't know where this is located at. I'm of the opinion that it's someplace in either Arizona, Nevada, or California.
Given your Vault lore, that makes sense.
Vault 33, we have no idea. This is a brand new vault. We've never heard of Vault 33, but if it goes by numbering procedures for vaults, Vault pretty much 1 to around 40, 50 were in California and the West Coast. So I'm just assuming that it's someplace within those several states, right? It might be Washington. You never know. But they do. I think that they do look good. Like the power armor, the Brotherhood power armor looks pretty fucking solid.
No, and I will say the ghouls. We've only seen one ghoul so far. The one ghoul we've seen is,
we'll see.
He's
really clean,
smooth.
He's really fucking clean.
You're talking about this dude, right? Like,
yeah. But I will say it depends on the amount of like radiation that the person was exposed to. Not all ghouls look, you know, super rotten and gross. You'll see that more in like the feral ghouls who've been exposed to a lot more radiation.
True.
So this could potentially just be like, you know, a clean ghoul. You know.
Yeah.
I, mean, I don't know, man.
I'm kind of with
one so far.
I'm kind of with chat right now where everything looked almost too clean, and I honestly, the ghoul I didn't have as much of an issue with. Although, like, I don't know how radiation would like affect your teeth, but he has a nice smile for a ghoul.
He does have some nice teeth. I didn't notice that.
The Brotherhood of Steel is what the Brotherhood of Steel is what bothers me the most, and the stills can still be saved once we see them in movement. That's my biggest concern, is how is this going to move?
They have to move really
because
heavy.
it doesn't look like a practical piece. That looks like CGI, and I'm curious to see if it has like those bad CGI traits to it.
I hope not.
I don't think. I don't think
it looks like CGI. That looks like a costume.
I think so.
I don't know, man.
This is 100%.
The way that it frames around.
Maybe
like that
one?
looks like an entire CGI scene. That title
one might
that
be,
one kind of does.
The one with the dude standing beside the power armor, something about like the edges of it make it look like it's like dropped into the scene. It doesn't look like it's part of the scene, and the gun looks. The gun looks worse than the armor does.
Let's just have a real quick. Let's just have a real quick conversation about the gun to begin with, because I kind of agree. White had
an
a tweet
rifle from Fallout 4.
That fucking gun should not be there, bro.
Yeah,
that gun looks terrible.
I'm not too sure
for a Brotherhood of Steel character.
For
a Brotherhood of Steel character, that gun should not be there. That should be a full fucking Gatling gun, not a shitty pipe machine gun.
Well, it's not pipe, but yeah, it shouldn't be the
either way.
rifle.
Also, are they supposed to be that big? Like, do they scale guns up to power armor size?
Oh, you mean the gun or the?
Because the gun's as big as the dude beside of him.
The gun's bigger. They scaled the gun up for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Like, is that a lore thing? Is what I'm asking.
As modifications, because Fallout games have modifications of extended, barrels and drums.
Is that
and stuff.
lore thing to scale it up? No,
I think they definitely just scaled it up to.
Because there's no way that somebody outside of power armor could use that gun in particular.
I mean. You could, but like in the game, you would be overweight. Like that, you had to have specific.
I don't even think it's physically possible. Like if you try to like butt that up and get a clean weld on the cheek, you would have to like be like.
You're not butting that up to your cheek, but
no, like the stock goes in the shoulder, your cheek goes. A cheek weld is where your cheek is on the side of the gun. The stock's in your. It's proper aiming, and the way that those grips are, you would have to go like almost full wingspan to get that out there.
The thing is that again, I think that was supposed to be like a chain.
It should have been a Gatling gun.
Like a Gatling gun, yeah. Because the Brotherhood of Steel would never have ran around with that kind of a weapon. Like,
I mean,
you know what's so funny about this is
or a Gauss rifle would have been even better.
Gauss rifle would have been cool. I would have been about that.
I now know how my wife and kids feel whenever I nerd out on fucking MCU and Marvel. Sitting here, because I looked at this, I was like, dude, this fucking looks badass, bro. That gun is fucking
does. It
dope.
looks
The
good.
armor
I
looks
think
fucking
it-
great.
I
I'm excited.
think it
They're
does
over
that.
here going
I
like,
think it
bro, I
looks good.
cannot believe it's a fucking pipe gun and they didn't go with a gas gun. And I'm like, what the? You nerds, fucking
Like
nerds,
even from a design and CGI standpoint, I like the way the gun fits into his hand looks awkward. Like where
Well,
the hands,
it's
where the
it's
hands
supposed to
meet the
be
guns
again. It's supposed to
look
be
weird.
a Gatling gun. It's
Yeah,
supposed to be a Gatling gun.
definitely.
I'm willing to bet that that's what it's supposed to be. Like that they modeled it off of the original Fallout Brotherhood of Steel that walked around with giant fucking Gatling
Yeah.
guns.
And they chose this gun for whatever reason because I guess they thought it was iconic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it looks like something
it's a
that would be in a
definable
post-apocalyptic.
Fallout.
That's why they
gun,
chose
yeah.
it. They were like that would be post-apocalyptic,
Right.
probably not knowing or not caring that the Brotherhood of Steel are not really well known for not having
that's what's really
technologically
gonna hurt
advanced
this show.
pieces of
If
equipment.
there's anything that's what's gonna hurt the show is them
Yeah.
just
So
going
this-
off of the looks.
This
I also
this
don't know what's
just-
going on with the toilets on the
this
carts over
particular
there.
yeah
I don't know what
this
those are.
this particular one is
They're not
interesting to me because that's
toilets,
right
but-
there, and correct me if
That's-
I'm wrong, but that right there is a Covenant ship, and those are Covenant drop birds, if I'm
That's
not
not-
mistaken.
it's
Those
not
look like
Covenant.
Covenant.
Be sure to tell us in the
100%.
comments
You're not
later
Halo?
how
You
wrong we are about
mean
everything.
Enclave?
Not fucking yes, Enclave. I'm sorry, not Covenant.
Okay.
I was like, what the
Enclave.
fuck? We're like
Like,
mixing.
wait.
Are we? Hold on a second. I was like,
Yes.
are we mixing worlds
Those
now?
that looks like an Enclave dirigible, and those look like Enclave dropships.
I-
Those do not look like Brotherhood of Steel dropships.
The dropships, the airship itself looks kind of Brotherhood, but the dropships.
Well, the airship
I don't
itself
know.
looks like the Fallout 4 airship, which was stolen
Right.
from an Enclave.
Well, okay, in that case, that could be.
I
Yeah,
should
that
really
if I
start
remember
listening
correctly,
to
at least.
fucking story in video games because I don't know what the
Vertibird.
fuck
Now,
y'all are talking
granted,
about.
granted, again, I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've played Fallout 2, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure
Is that
that's
where
an
this is supposed to
Enclave.
be based in?
We
Fallout-
We don't know.
yet.
We have no
Yeah.
clue. Yeah.
By the way, these are not
This-
toilets. These are the backing of a bomb. Like it's the tail piece of.
I was about to say
of
those don't look like toilets.
That's,
Those
that's
look
the
like
tail piece of
yeah,
a,
bomb vents.
of a bomb.
Oh, I see it now. Okay.
So, why the fuck would they just have
they're
a random bunch of
upside down
toilets?
fins.
So-
Okay, I
so
could have
that's-
swore they were giant toilets
They're
for this.
dropping
Like,
bombs. They're
it dro-
dropping
dro-
toilets.
The power armor. You'll have to get out of your suit and take a dump.
Yeah.
Some dirty bombs.
Yeah, man.
But anyways, yeah, that's my biggest worry is just like we know that Amazon does not really give a shit about following pre-established canon. We know that Bethesda really doesn't give a fuck about following pre-established canon,
Yeah.
considering the fact that Fallout 76 was in a
Retconned
completely
a lot.
was in a completely wrong timeline for having Brotherhood, but somehow they were still in the Appalachia, even though they technically weren't even out of their fucking vault in California yet. But you know, whatever.
Okay, after this, I'm gonna need someone after the show to tell me more about the Brotherhood of Steel because I don't know fucking shit about. I really should pay attention to video
Brotherhood-
game.
they're,
No,
they're-
no, no,
they're-
no,
they're
no.
basically
We don't have
modern
time.
crusaders.
We don't have time
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now. We don't have time
Yeah.
right now. We got too many other topics we got to get through.
Kind of like
So,
Space Marines almost.
all right. So we're wrapping. I don't even have a segue for this. Okay, Blizzard's decided to send out fucking surveys to Diablo 4 players. I'm offended. I did not get my survey as a whale for this game.
because you like the game.
That's because they know that you're gonna pay for whatever the fuck they
Yeah.
put in front of you.
They, they,
Like,
they
let's
don't
be
need
real.
to. They don't need
Yeah.
to pander to you. They've got your money.
So essentially, this is raising a lot of concerns with a lot of people. You know, this is I don't even have a place to really defend it. This is something that Blizzard has done in the past, with not only Diablo but also with WoW. You know, Overwatch. They've done this with a lot of their properties, and it never really leads to anything good. But basically, it is big things on monetary practices involving even having. I was hoping that this was going to have some of the questions that
The
were on here,
screenshots
but
and shit. Yeah.
I don't think it does. One of the biggest ones that is bringing the most controversy is basically saying, how would you feel if we gave early access to items and uniques behind paywall, like behind money?
Wow.
They're
Why would they
asking
ask
for
that?
permission.
Yeah. So
That's a
Which
lot
means
like
they're
what they
thinking
did.
about it.
That's what a lot what they did with the Overwatch surveys too.
yeah,
Well, they've done it on all the survey. They did it
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
World
I
of
bet they
Warcraft
have.
survey recently.
I just
too.
personally
Yeah.
know of the Overwatch ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
It's rough, man, and it just shows that exactly as I said before that they are willing to take it down a route of Diablo Immortal. That's what they want.
here's
in
the other
my
crazy
opinion.
thing is that the Vessel of Hatred, which is the new expansion that we're supposed to be getting, is rumored to be $100.
No shot. You're lying. That's got to be like
Bro,
some
it's
special
$100. It's $100 price tag. Like and I've
lying. Crazy,
I've
dude.
researched this. It's not
There's
confirmed,
no fucking way.
but it is a
That
$100
cannot
price
be.
tag that will you got to think about it. They will I'm assuming this is, if the rumor is true, it is the game and the expansion together. So this
well,
is
you know
Diablo
what?
4 and but I can't defend it, right? Like that is
Looks
that
like
is
Sin's out $100.
right? Sin's like, I can't defend it, but I'm still gonna buy it.
Yeah.
no. I mean, I might buy the the expansion. The expansion. The expansion,
No.
not this. I think that this is
Okay.
saying the game and the expansion. Anyway,
So how much is this game? Is it 60?
the regular
Diablo
game?
4.
I think it's
Yeah.
No, it's
It's
70
70.
bucks, man.
70, I think.
Is
Yeah.
this okay?
It's
Jesus.
It's
So
70
it's a
bucks,
30
man.
a $30 expansion still.
Yeah. So it's so some of the stuff again that kind of launch, and I would recommend going and look at why am I blanking on this dude's name? Oh my god, what is his name? Shit.
Bellular?
Bellular, thank you. Bellular's kind of take on this. He made a video of it.
He
that
does
has-
have a really good take. I watched it. I just
Yeah.
can't remember a
It's-
lot of
it's-
the points,
it's
but he has some
really-
really good takes.
Yeah, it's really good. But one of the things they talked about again is that namely Blizzard is considering 4 pricing options for Vessel of Hatred: 50, 70, 80, and $100. Each subsistent tier offers more bonuses, but it's the type of bonuses that basically a raising degree, including things like key expansion features, expanded stashes, access to new uniques and legendary powers, and entire season early, and enter the season earlier than non-premium players. It's not good.
The
It's-
thing that cracks me up is that they got so much flack for allowing people to get into the race for world first early, and then they're pulling this shit. Like the amount of bullshit that they had to deal with for allowing people to pre-order and start, what was it, 4 days early? I think 3 or 4 days
something
early.
like that.
And now they're doing the exact same fucking thing. And I guarantee you, I know I can't guarantee you, but I'm pretty I would be remiss if they did not have another world first race for world first in the new expansion.
The Vessel of Hatred. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if they'll have like a statue, but I
As-
wouldn't be surprised if they
as
They
did.
already
someone-
failed on the statue, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I hope they don't.
I mean, as someone that loves that, I still do love Diablo 4. I mean, I do love the game. I really hope that they don't do this. I really hope that they, please step in like Microsoft, and Phil Spencer and correct this ship, because this is not the route to take it.
It's really shitty practice, man.
This is
It's
just really bad.
Maybe
it's
if
really
you
shitty
buy
practice.
enough
by
item shop
paying enough,
items, you can pay for them to make this a free expansion.
Yeah.
You might be able to cover that.
I don't know. It saddens me because again, this is a game that I think has a lot of potential, and if they really go down this route, they're just pissing it away.
I don't think they care, man. I really
I
don't.
think they do either, honestly. But we'll
That's
see.
sad,
Like
dude.
I don't think that they
Think that
cared
passion's
before.
gone.
I don't think they cared before they were under the umbrella of Microsoft, but I'm pretty sure that Microsoft gives a shit. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
hope
know.
so. I hope so.
I hope so for you guys.
Well, let's talk about some other shitty practices, which was Ubisoft. People that played that
Oh,
laugh,
man.
bro.
This was
That
funny.
laugh.
No,
I need to. Can you do that? I need to record that and put it on my soundbar. It's like,
okay.
anyway. So Assassin's Creed. This was funny.
I mean,
to me.
this isn't
Honest to
even the
God.
one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ubisoft sucks.
So I laughed at this because it was such a brilliant, like, shitty, underhanded, scummy, but yet at the same time, just like kudos to the fucker that got it to be done. Essentially, you would go on Assassin's Creed Mirage and you would open the map and it would be a no, I'm sorry. It wasn't. It was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You would open the map and it would be a pop-up ad for Mirage
Oh my gosh.
when you access the map. And it wasn't like let me see if they show a picture of it. Yeah. Here you go. Watch. This person
Initial
is
video, I think.
yeah. There you go. That's it. That's not an like over like a website ad right now. That
It
is
looks
literally what
like
was
it.
in the game. That's what popped up in the game.
Oh my gosh.
Like again, kudos to whoever got that in there or whatever else, and just like I don't know, it's impressive marketing. But fuck, dude, who
Is it?
I mean, it's just funny. I don't know.
It's just
The
so
thing-
blatant, man.
The thing that
So-
cracks me up with this is like, and the reason why it made me laugh about this is because like as soon as I saw this, I had noticed this as well prior, was like the first thing that came to my mind, instead of being like, wow, that's a shitty practice, the first thing that came to mind was like, hey, that's Ubisoft. Of course they're gonna do
Yeah.
that. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Expecting
good job,
nothing
Ubisoft.
less.
I just thought, and they're
I wonder if you play offline, if that ad still pops up, or if it's in
I
the
would
patch.
imagine. I would imagine it's
If
probably
they actually patched it in
inside
there.
of the
It
actual
probably
patch.
is.
Yeah.
it's
But I will say that Ubisoft, of course, they came out and said, "Hey, that was an error. That wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to happen."
No,
Yeah.
how
We're
could
sorry.
they say that?
Yeah.
Well, we're thinking about it.
yeah.
But
Well,
did you
here's
click
the
it?
funny thing.
Did you- it was an error, but did you click it?
Here's the
It's
funny
like-
thing is that they were like, hey, we took it out, right? But the ad was removed after Black Friday, like after the deal was done. So they're like,
course.
no, we removed it. Well, no shit, because the ad was
Yeah,
for Black
the
Friday
deal's
and the
done.
Black Friday's gone, deal's gone. So I don't know.
Oh
It's
my gosh.
again, the marketing guy, kudos to you. That's genius, but at the same time, it's so fucking scummy.
Did we have the other Ubisoft thing in here too?
I don't know
What
what was,
just
Yeah.
the,
happened?
what was the other Ubisoft thing that
The
happened.
Siege one.
The Siege one.
Oh yeah,
dude.
yeah, that's later. Don't worry, we covered that.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
I mean, we can actually cover it now since
I thought maybe it would be. Dude, that
we
was
can cover
funny
that now.
too.
Yeah, so
Got to rapid fire through this shit. Somebody took
Yeah.
a long fucking time talking about some weird fucking lore, guy.
so Rainbow Six also was scheduled to actually have their new operator and new map and new season.
I'm sad
Deep
it got
Freeze
delayed.
dropped. Yeah, but it got delayed fucking 7 hours before it was supposed to, but not for everybody because certain people were able to download it on Xbox.
Xbox, yeah.
And play it. And then but then it got removed. And then also the creators, like the part of the partner program, they told them the day before that it was going to get delayed, but waited to go public 7 hours before
Wow, that's crazy.
that
Yeah.
it was supposed to go out.
But
Talking about
see,
transparency
again-
with your community.
That's not even the
but
zinger.
see again, like when I hear this, I'm just like, yeah, so this is
and
Ubisoft,
so,
man. Like, that
and so
makes
what
sense.
happened to the people that actually were able to download it on Xbox?
They were locked out for 4 to 6 hours from being
Yep.
able to play the game because they downloaded the patch until Ubisoft was able to push out a back patch.
Yep.
It locked people out from playing the game that they paid for.
Yep.
As Ubisoft,
Nice.
good job,
Love
Ubisoft.
it.
Well
Way to
done.
go.
Really nailed it.
That is I was excited about this season too.
Me too.
I mean, I think the season's still going to be good, and I
Yeah.
am kind of happy that they recognized that it was going to be a dumpster fire and delayed it. But
Just they did
7
it
hours before the
way
patch
too
comes
late.
out, come on now.
Yeah, man. Way too late.
Anyway, so that happened.
Good old Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Well, let's talk about a game that's like hell. It's probably gonna also get delayed again.
Again. If it
You act like
even
it
releases. Right.
Bro,
if it
there
even
are.
somehow
Here's the crazy thing.
releases.
I have creator friends that have codes. I think it's gonna launch
Codes?
Codes.
Or like have actual
early
hands
access.
on.
Early access codes.
Like they played it. Or they just gave him some codes.
They gave
and
them
it's
codes
a-
that are. It's in Steam.
See, I still don't believe it. It's been in Steam.
No,
It's been in the store
It's
before.
in their Steam library. Like it's
No,
downloaded.
I know, but it's been on the Steam store before, so I'm sure like they could put it into the library. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. I have no
But
idea.
I know. I mean that's something, but still,
Bro,
I mean we don't know, man. We don't know.
You want to talk about is there a shot? Okay, we have been 99.9999% with all of our predictions, right? Because also
Yeah.
one of the things
PP
that
tells the future.
yeah, we tell the future. The PP team was right whenever we said that Veiled Experts was not going to survive, and sure, guess what, guys, it got canned.
I think I gave that estimate, if I recall.
You
I'm
did.
pretty sure.
You did.
Like everybody on this show has nailed, you know, bits and pieces of future gaming history. So we will, by the way, just saying, if you want to PayPal us some money, we'll go ahead and pick your lottery tickets for you.
know.
We'll
We'll take a cut of it.
1, 2, 3,
yeah,
4, 5.
Yeah, right.
Works every time.
Is there a shot where we're wrong about this and this game comes
I
out,
don't think
one,
there's a
and
shot.
two is actually good?
Okay, that's a big,
No.
a big
No.
risk.
So
I don't think
let me just reiterate. I'm pretty sure that when at least when I spoke the last time on this, I said that I would be surprised if it came out, but if it did come out, it will not be what they have shown. Right? Like it will not be anywhere near what they have
Because
shown.
what we've seen is assets
From
placed
other
into the
games.
world.
From other games.
Yeah.
Ripped assets. That's all we've seen so far. And ass and assets. That's it.
Ass and assets. That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
But yeah, no, 100. If this does release, which God help anybody that pays for this.
God,
But if
man.
this does release, I don't believe that it will be anywhere near what they've pushed out there, right? Like it'll be a completely different game from what they've told people it was going to be. And I will eat my foot if it's anywhere near
I will eat
what they showed
my
and if it's
entire
actually good.
leg if it's actually good, and if I actually find myself playing it.
I mean, we
Oh,
are
yeah.
literally 6 days away from this game
Less
supposed
than a week away. Yep.
to be out.
Not it's never too late for a delay though.
Well, the last time the last time it was going to release, they delayed it like 3 days before it was supposed to release, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
3 or 4 days before it
Something
released.
like that.
I love
so-
that this question right here is console release date question mark? Like, are you fucking not kidding me?
There's a lot of people who firmly believe in this game, and they
I
just
know.
just so
don't
you guys are aware, we're talking about the day before.
Oh, the day before. Yeah,
that's-
sorry.
yeah.
I thought I
Oh,
made
sorry,
it clear,
yeah.
but yeah, the day before.
Also, you know what happened to the whole dispute on their name, man?
They said they got it. They said that they got
they said they got it back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember for a while they were going to be called like Day World or something stupid like that.
Something like,
Like,
that. Yeah.
look at the, I mean, just, again, I don't think it's going to, look at these ass, like, oh, you can't, I don't
Look
know.
at these
Look at
asses.
these ass.
Yeah,
Look at these,
man.
like, weightlifting in a gym, right? Like, this is, you can't see it because of the way the screen is. There's no shot that the game looks like this. Like, there's just no shot.
Yeah.
Like,
Nope. I don't see it being anything like.
oh
what
my,
they've-
look, man, here it is. Digital Steam key. Giveaway for a digital
Yeah.
Steam key. Can someone
don't-
verify real quick? Can one of you
it's-
guys, can somebody or in chat, is this game purchasable right now on Steam?
It is
Look.
not.
I
that
thought it was
know
taken
of.
down, and I never thought it came back. No, it's
Uh,
back
I
up.
don't- I don't-
It's-
I don't think
but
it's purchasable.
It's back
though.
up, but it's not purchasable.
Yeah,
It-
there's
it's
no
just
actual.
has a
like,
planned release date
price
of,
on it,
of
yeah.
like what they say December 7th. So
The game's not even out yet, and we're already getting in-game ads. What the fuck is this? InDrive is an international writing. Just so everybody knows, too, Fnatic and the game developer for this is literally what they do. They are an
gosh.
advertising company that they have used their games
that's
to
what I said
fucking
in the
advertise
very
other
beginning.
games.
I said this game was originally an advertisement for their prop night game.
The prop
Remember
night
that?
game,
Yeah.
I don't know,
I don't
man.
know,
It's
This is
fantastic or whatever. Not
I don't
Fnatic.
see it. Fantastic.
this,
yeah,
and here you
fantastic
go.
or
By the
whatever.
way, Mytona, right? They said that we are thrilled to announce that we have secured the title of the game the day
Oh,
before.
okay.
Was confirmed by the decision of the Intellectual Property Tribunal of South Korea. This department automatically cancels the registration of the calendar mark for the computer game software in the U.S. and other countries. It's been a long process. Thank you so much. As a result, the Steam page is back, and the day before has restored in its position in top 1 of wish lists on Steam. The game's early access release is scheduled for December 7th. So this is why I think the game will I think the game will come out. I do think December 7th the game will launch, and it's going to be early access, and then it's just going to be like prop hunt and everything else. It will never go anywhere else after that. They will get the money
I don't
and
doubt
run
it.
with it.
Yeah.
If
And they're
it
gonna
comes
make
out, yeah.
they're gonna make a
This
fuck
is-
ton of money.
This is gonna be like the do you guys remember the War Z back in the day, like back in 2012?
War Z, yeah.
This is gonna be like War Z. This is
You
gonna be
remember-
like Sergey and the War Z.
Well, it was War Z.
Fiasco.
It was remember Infestation. When
Yep.
like
There
dude,
was
all
like
of
a
those
Infestation
million of
Survivor
those
Stories
games.
was Infestation
Yeah,
Survivor
it-
Stories was just War Z because
It
they
was,
got
yeah.
the name taken away from them by the movie.
Dude, we have people in
Yeah.
chat. We have people in chat right now that have it on the wish list. I thought we raised you guys better than that chat. What the
I
hell?
have it on mine.
Oh, okay. All right.
I did-
That's
Only
just-
wish list, not on wish list.
Oh, only wish list. Okay, never mind. Sorry, Luft.
I'm not gonna lie. I have it on my wish list as well.
Oh my
I have it on
god.
mine. Well, because I wanted to keep track of
I
it.
want to keep track of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not intending to buy it, but I
Yeah.
wanted to keep track of it.
It's like
um,
it's like tracking Santa Claus. It's hard to do. Anyway.
I will say, looking through the
Oh,
Steam,
man.
like the Steam forums, like the community forums, people are like, "Yo, less than 6 days and we still don't have any gameplay footage. Are you fucking kidding me? This is
No
ridiculous."
shit.
This
No,
guy
'cause-
right here, literally 3 hours ago, it's getting Sergey Titov vibes. Exactly what I just said.
yeah.
Bro, this is a rug pull if I've ever seen one.
At least Dead Matter came out with a game. Oh, granted, that game was fucking shit fire.
This is fucking rug pull. You'll only be able to
Yeah.
buy this with crypto and NFTs. Watch.
November 29th. So are you really going to release this in December 7th or is it going to get delayed again? Y'all been
It's getting
really
delayed
quiet.
Again. It's getting delayed again, bro.
Yeah,
Anyway, there you go.
I don't know, man. If it does release, I'm gonna be shocked. If it does release as it is, as it's displayed as, I will be even more shocked. But
Yeah.
It will be. I think it will release, but I think it's going to be just a money pool. That's it. And they're
Yeah.
going to make a shit ton of it.
they're gonna make a ton of money. Yeah.
of money off this. So,
We're gonna have a real good podcast next week.
yeah.
We'll see.
The Last of Us 2 is getting remastered. And it is going to cost you $10 for PlayStation 4 owners.
If you own the original.
If you own it,
If you
if
own
you
the
not, if
original,
you don't,
yeah.
it's full price.
Is it a $70 game?
I believe so.
Of course it is. Thanks, Sony.
It's a Sony game.
I mean, what? Why is this? Didn't the Final Fantasy 7 remake? Wasn't that free for?
That was free. So was CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk, I believe, right?
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of PS4 to PS5 games
there's a
that
bunch of
got
them.
free upreses and stuff.
I think The Last of Us, the original one, was free as well, wasn't it?
The
Maybe one.
The
The
upscale is PS5. Yeah.
I think the remaster got an upscale to PS5. Yeah.
I think it was free. I don't remember hearing it was charged.
I don't remember hearing anything about
Yeah.
charging either.
So yeah, and I don't know whether they think it's warranted because they are adding some new roguelike mode.
Get out of
That's
here.
that's
man.
about the only difference that.
Get
that-
out of here,
And
man.
honestly, I don't know if you guys have seen the comparison pictures. Oh, to me, all it looks like is they turned on dark mode and they made the
Pretty
game
much,
like
yeah.
darker, and
Yeah.
I don't see a much of a difference whatsoever.
No,
I don't know.
that's 100% just dark mode.
I
Yeah,
love
man,
I
I
love
don't-
one of the comments that's below this post. I'm not going to repeat it word for word because we can't, but it literally says, "Damn, did Free get impacted by inflation as well?"
Yeah,
That's fucking
$10
hilarious,
upcharge.
bro. That is
Oh,
fucking
God.
hilarious. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, to me personally, like, I look at these games like specifically like The Last of Us. I think is really one of the only ones that have really done this recently. Of like, why are we remastering and remaking these games? Because like this
Yeah.
is something that did not launch that long ago. It does not
It was
look
3
that
years
bad.
ago.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
that's my biggest
The
problem
fuck
that I
are we
have
doing?
is like,
At all.
why are we remastering a game that's literally been out for like 2.5 years?
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
other games
Like-
that I can say have done that, but it was still a longer interval of time, was the Skyrim games, and there was a few of those remasters.
Well,
Yeah.
and I even have issues with Skyrim. Like,
I do
there's no
too.
reason why they needed
There's
to
no
remaster
reason.
Skyrim that many times. Like,
well,
Yeah.
Like one
Capcom
remaster after like 10 or so years. I gotta give it to
Capcom
them.
did just announce that the RE4 remake or whatever they're remastering that next week.
No, you're-
so you're
you're
gonna
lying.
get the next version of that for your
It's like
PlayStation
a-
5.
does
So
it have to-
PlayStation,
is that
PlayStation,
a remake?
A remake, remaster.
Yeah, PlayStation
So it could be Game of the
PlayStation
Year
5
next
owners
year?
can spend another $60 to get the remaster of the remake of the remastered remake that they just did. So
I actually can't tell if you're lying or not.
no, of course I'm fucking lying.
That's for okay,
but
Jesus.
again,
I would
a
not
lot of
put
stuff
it
that we
past them,
say
man, dude.
goes into
Like,
to reality. So
yeah,
who knows, man?
come
We're gonna
next
get
week, that'll
we're gonna get a
actually come
fucking
true.
we're gonna get a fucking Dead Space
We're gonna cease
fucking
and desist, bro.
remaster or a
I was
remake.
actually-
We're gonna
I was
get-
actually gonna bring up Dead Space because back when Dead Space Remake was like coming out, I was talking about how I didn't feel like that game needed a remake because I feel like it still aged fine from the like original version of the game. This is wild, and this is out there, and
This to me is just Sony trying to cash in on one of their better, one of their franchise that they're
Well,
like.
can we
people
get
will pay
Sony to
for it.
cash in
yeah,
on
but the weird
Bloodmaster,
thing is
bro?
Sony's been fine doing free upgrades before, so why this one in particular?
Because they're cashing in on it. They know that people will purchase it.
They know
I
people will buy it.
also think, I mean, we didn't cover it in this news articles because it happened I think 2 weeks ago, but guys, they're in the thralls of like a $7 billion lawsuit right now because
they are, aren't they?
of their store.
Oh, they're
like,
scrapping.
They are, and Jimmy Rye put them in a really financially tough spot. Like they are not. This is not a banner year, and I'm not saying that this played into this decision, but
I wouldn't doubt it. I
It's
wouldn't put it
also
past them.
like it's just. I don't know, man. Like it's not good. And that $7 billion thing is no small. That's not small potatoes to anybody, and that is a very big lawsuit for their practices with the PlayStation Store and their PlayStation Plus membership.
Right.
And the way that they advertise.
Basically
and
the
stuff like that.
equivalent of the Apple Epic lawsuit,
Yeah.
but just directed at Sony now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Who knows?
Which Apple ended up winning that, so I see Sony winning this as well, but I hope they don't because that would be better for the consumer.
Yeah, and this is, but also too, like, I don't know if I'll put this all on Last of Us. I think Insomniac is another one of those companies where they make the other great games. Last of Us is one of those ones that they just will not let go. Like it's
Last of Us is Naughty Dog, not Insomniac.
Not I'm sorry.
Naughty Dog,
Yeah, Naughty Dog. Sorry. Not Insomniac. So I apologize.
They kind of did the same thing with the Uncharted games too.
Yeah, they just don't let it
There's
go.
a
They
bunch of
don't let
different
the fucking
versions of
thing die.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
Like why? I guess their ideology here is why make another game when we can just remaster one that we already have. Put this money into the multiplayer experience thing that got shut the fuck down. So
and in 10 years, they'll probably remake it.
it won't even take 10 years, bro.
10 years?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It'll be a
That's
year and a
true.
half, man.
Yeah.
True.
So anyway, well, we have a new Tribes game coming out after 11 years. So this didn't get a
excited for this.
remaster or remake. I'm excited about this too. If you're
man.
unfamiliar with Tribes, Tribes is a first-person shooter game that originally they had some story-based content, some single-player content, but really it was based in a multiplayer universe, multiplayer world. It's all about it's developed by Hi-Rez Studios, but at least the last one was Tribes Ascended. But
Tribes Ascend was.
well, yeah. But it's like very fast paced, very like it's all about like skiing or skating, depending on what you want to call it. It's just
Yeah, this one's being developed by Prophecy Games.
movement. It's like a vertical movement shooter.
yeah.
I guess you could say.
I don't know
This
if I'd
is,
say vertical, but
This is
Well, you're-
being developed by Prophecy Games, which is a new studio founded by Hi-Rez Studio. So it's
mean,
an
you're-
umbrella studio of Hi-Rez
yeah.
Studio.
You're rocket jumping. You're skating off mountains. That's what I mean by the verticality of the game.
yeah. Well, I think,
did you get the video that I sent?
yes, that's right.
It's
Okay.
play that.
Let me go to this so that this. Give me a sec. There we go.
I also want to see real fast when you play this. When I watched it, I wasn't sure if it was just my phone. I got some frame stutters. Wasn't sure if that was their gameplay
Yeah,
trailer.
there's no
What is
there's
it?
there's a
This is
little bit of
alpha.
frame
This
It's
is like
stutter.
alpha.
alpha.
So
Yeah.
to be fair, yeah, that is alpha. I missed that.
To
Yeah,
be 100%
there's a little
honest,
bit of
this
It
I
looks
mean,
pretty solid, man.
this looks like
Right there.
Tribes Ascended. I mean, for like I don't
That's-
really know
That's
why
what,
Tribes
that's what I
Ascended.
said. This
away.
looks it literally just looks like Tribes Ascended. Like, it looks like they pulled the same asset. You remember that Crucible game?
Yeah.
From this looks like they're pulling the same thing that Crucible did, where they're just like, just re-release it under another studio.
Yeah,
Could-
I
could
mean,
be, but it looks clean though. I mean, they obviously upgraded the engine.
it's using Unreal 5. This is definitely Unreal 5 engine.
Yeah, definitely. It looks very clean.
It's
I don't know. I'm of the opinion, like, and when you posted it, I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, just let it die, because like they've tried to refresh it like 3 different times now. I think.
You know what,
there was a fan project, there was the
if
official
there isn't
project,
a better
and then there
time
was
right now
Hi-Rez.
for a game of this style, I think it's right now. Because you've got a lot of new people coming in shooters who are those
Yeah, I don't
movement
know.
twitchy shooters, and this is that game that definitely
The problem with Tribes is that it's a very
thrive off of that.
the problem with Tribes is that it's a very niche player base. Like not a like the original Tribes was released around the same time that like
Halo,
Counter Strike,
and
Halo,
Counter-Strike,
all those
And yeah,
games
it
came out.
is
So
niche. Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like I don't really know if the player base is there. Like you're gonna have the same player base that likes to do those Counter Strike mod maps where they do like the surfing or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
That's
gonna have the
what
people
yeah.
like that, and then
Why
you're
I
gonna have
liked
the
it a lot.
people that want to get back into the old days of like Unreal Engine or not Unreal Engine, Unreal Tournaments and shit like that. But really, I don't think you're gonna capture the player base that's playing like COD or that's playing like
Well, COD,
you know.
COD players are never going to be COD. Like it's just they're
Yeah,
just not.
that's-
Right?
that's
Like
not
my
happening.
brother is a COD player. He's not going to come play this. Like
for
No,
sure.
you
Yeah.
know.
So I don't know. That's been the biggest problem that I've had with not that I have with it, because this is the kind of game that I enjoy, and I'm probably going to pick this up and play it. But it definitely it's a niche player base for sure.
Well, the original-
I hope it gets something of a player base. That would
I
be
do
nice
too,
to
man.
at least have a
The OG
thriving
And I
Tribes.
hope they
Or at
hope they
least
bring
a-
it back to the OG
a
Tribes,
Tribes that's
like,
alive.
play style, because like Tribes
Yeah.
Ascended, there was something weird between the two. Like it didn't feel
Ascend
the same
or
to me.
yeah,
Ascended,
Tribes
Ascended,
Ascend.
yeah.
Ascended was the
Yeah.
newest
The one
by
before.
higher.
No,
by
The newest
Hi-Rez.
one. Yeah.
That was
Ascend.
Tribes Ascend. Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean the yeah, I don't know. I mean it just this is gonna end up, I think, in that same vein that that like what was that Portal Halo game that they
Splitgate.
Oh,
yeah,
Splitgate,
Splitgate,
Yeah.
Like-
I
I have a feeling that's gonna end up there, you know, which again Splitgate had some really cool
because that was also a very niche shooter.
right.
Yeah.
Um
Unfortunately, I think it's going to go down the same route that Ascended or Tribes Ascent went, and it'll just die out. But it'll be fun.
I
while it
I
lasts.
love Tribes. Dude, I grew up playing fucking
So did I.
Tribes.
Yeah,
dude.
I
Like,
grew up
Yeah.
with it. Yeah,
you know, so
I
We will
remember
see.
playing Tribes and Counter Strike.
I think I remember playing like a Unity browser version of Tribes. It was like ported to Unity or some shit. I played that for a long time.
About you,
Well,
Bill? Did you ever
the-
play this?
No, fuck no. I had to ask you guys what this was in the chat. It
I
does look
Forgot
really
about
cool.
that.
It looks like
I mean-
Quake meets Halo, and I'm
Well,
kind
it
of
is.
about
Yeah,
it.
Here's the
it's
thing. Here's the
definitely-
thing. It was originally was it Quake or was it Unreal that it was a mod? of?
It was Unreal Tournament.
Unreal
It was
Tournament.
originally the mod.
Unreal
Yeah.
Tournament mod. Yeah.
Unreal Tournament was always something that like I always saw back on the day on like G4 because G4 loved
Bro,
Unreal Tournament for
Unreal
some
Tournament was
reason.
Amazing, man. 'Cause
Um,
it was good.
It's a
What are you
great-
talking
it's a
about? For
great
some reason, it was
fucking game,
amazing.
dude. It's so good.
and now it was Xbox exclusive, right?
No,
No,
Unreal
it was
Tournament.
PC.
Unreal Tournament was
It
a
was
first was
PC.
PC. Yeah.
Oh, that
PC
explains it
only.
even more because I
You
never
weren't
I
a
didn't have a
PC boy.
PC
You were a
until I
console
went to
boy.
Yeah.
college. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this is OG original shooter. Like this is what this is from. Like I mean,
This is what I grew up on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's what
like,
this.
like Unreal Tournament, fucking.
And I
yeah.
would love for it to fucking be a thing. I just don't think in today's world this is a place where it will survive. I
Well,
just don't think it can.
Yeah.
You know what's?
They've-
By the way, guys,
they've
I
tried
want
to
to put
bring
in.
back Unreal
I wanna
Tournament and
mention-
shit before too.
We didn't. It was not on podcast, but just literally like a week before this, I brought it up to these guys about Tribes
We
Ascend.
brought it. We
were
brought it
talking
up
about it.
last night. I was talking to Pika and Enigma before. That's where this came from. Was because
Yeah.
it was like we were talking
again,
about Tribes and
We were talking about Tribes, and here it is.
yeah. So, can I get
Sorry, what?
Wildstar? Can I get Wildstar back? Wildstar's coming back.
No.
Wildstar's coming
You
back in
can't get Wildstar
2025.
back, bro.
It's
I'm
coming back in
sorry.
2025. We're getting it. It's happening. I'm putting it in the universe. It's happening. Okay. All right.
So Sony's
Yes.
gonna remake
Wildstar.
Wildstar,
Woo! It's coming
but
back.
it's gonna be a single player
That would be
narratively
the
driven
quickest-
experience.
You know what?
That would be the quickest.
Story-based game.
You know what? You laugh, right? You laugh, but we're moving into our quick hit section, which one of the topics is Sony is partnering with NCSoft. I'm just saying
There you go.
it could
There you
fucking
go.
happen. You
That
want me
would
to
be
buy a
the quickest
PlayStation?
PS5 buy you'd ever
You
have,
want
wouldn't
yes?
it?
You want me to fucking buy a PlayStation, Sony? You put fucking WildStar on that bitch, and I'll buy it today. I'll fucking buy it right now. I will drop
My
the biggest
gosh.
version that you have. I will buy that fucking thing. Oh my god!
Would you get a PlayStation Portal with it?
Yeah, sure. Fuck, whatever. Whatever I have to wail for to get fucking Wildstar back. I just want it back. So,
Oh, God.
anyway, quick hits, guys. This is the section where this is newsworthy topics that don't necessarily take a lot of talking about unless it is Sony bringing back Wildstar. But that we just want to make sure that you guys and everybody in the chat is aware of, and again, is something to at least mention. Discord is shutting down their AI chatbot Clyde. Bye, Clyde.
No.
We had some fun with Clyde.
Wasn't that
Can
today?
I just say that, like, prior to us finding out about Clyde, I had never heard about Clyde, and even
Yeah.
after we found out about Clyde, we never used Clyde. So
Yeah.
I understand why
No.
they're shutting him down.
Yeah, I randomly accidentally tagged him one
Yeah.
day, and he roasted the shit out
He
of
roasted
me.
the shit out of everybody, dude.
He was a savage.
Yeah.
Even
well,
to the very
Yeah.
end, he was roasting Enigma.
he is going bye-bye.
Yeah.
A unsigned PUBG team lost power, I guess, in the middle of a
Yeah.
tournament. But the
Yeah, it
tournament
was
came
a
on.
$2 million PUBG tournament, and this team, they were an unrepresented team. So for whatever reason, their booth lost power, and instead of pausing the match or
Oh.
redoing the match or whatnot, the tournament just was like, yeah, you're out. Sorry, and they were winning.
Oh, that
Just so you guys are aware,
Wait, yeah.
we asked Clyde if he has anything to say to our podcast as a farewell, and he says, "I'm gonna miss you all." Broken heart emoji.
Dude, that's actually so sad.
That's sad as shit, man.
Wow.
fuck you, Clyde.
F's in the chat for
Love you,
Clyde.
Clyde. That's in the chat.
But yeah, $2 million tournament team. I don't know if they would have had a partnership or somebody that they were signed with, if it would have went a different way. But unsigned team doing amazing. Power out, gone. Chances at $2 million
crazy.
prize pool gone.
That
That
was
Unapologetic from the tournament. So it's
Was this an official tournament for PUBG, or was this
yeah,
a?
it was an
$2
official
okay.
$2 million.
That's
$2
crazy.
million grand prize.
That's crazy, man.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yep,
I'd be
that's
livid.
fucked up. That's honestly, like that. I want to like, depending on where they were, I would think that would be like terms for like legal prosecution.
It was
Or, like,
across seas,
legal-
was it not?
Yeah, I'm
Guys, this is
trying to
quick. This is
figure
quick
out.
hits. This is quick hits. We're not supposed to be discussing.
Sorry,
This is supposed
bro,
to just be
sorry.
get and go. GTA. Why y'all look up? Whether or not we're sending $2 million to this unsigned team or not. I don't know. Pre-patch will pay your bills. The
Sin
Oh.
will, not pre-patch.
Yeah, I was about to say Sin
Yeah.
will. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
GTA is coming to Netflix game. Netflix. You'll be able to play
The
Vice
GTA,
City.
all the
uh,
first trilogy, right?
Yeah, essentially. But it's like it's the remakes, like the
Remakes.
shitty Switch,
The
remake
shitty ones that
version.
hardly
yeah.
worked.
Yeah. Dragon's Dogma 2 will be Capcom's first $70 game. They had a reveal for that with a lot of content. We will talk
Looks
about
really
that
good.
closely when the game launches. And I had other news, and I just completely blanked on what it was that I wanted to bring up for quick.
Also just to clarify, it's a $70 video game, but only in certain regions. It's a $70 video game in the US, but it's not $70 in the UK.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So
interesting.
that's it. That is all the news, all the quick hits, all the games, everything. Episode 106 is done. I do want to go around the horn as well and just kind of give everybody kind of what they're going to be doing and streaming, because we do have some updates that are going to be happening next week before the show, but also with the show. Scruffy, I'll let you go first. What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be streaming? What are you going to be doing over the next couple of days?
My main games that have been on my plate recently have been Lethal Company. Still been gaming on that Rainbow Six Siege. Surprisingly enough, and it probably only is going to last like a couple more days, I have played Fortnite OG. But once that OG is gone, I've heard they're never bringing it back, or they're not for a while. So I will probably drop that again. And other than that, I would still like to play more Baldur's Gate. Would be nice.
One day.
Just give up on it, guys. It's never gonna fucking.
so sad. And I guess maybe sprinkle in some WoW there too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
bro.
what Sin was waiting
Don't
for.
do it. Resist.
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I've been streaming a bit more. Streams have been kind of sporadic as of recently, but I've been able to push them out more so. So we're getting there. Yeah, we're
Gotta
doing
be
good,
careful pushing out streams, man. You can get hemorrhoids.
though.
Just want to let you know.
God.
So,
Yeah, I can need one of those pillows.
Bill, what about yourself, buddy?
I am currently in the middle of 2 runs. One is Lords of the Fallen, solo playthrough using just the broken buckets. So that's been kind of fun. And then I'm also running through a level 1 Lies of P run because I hate myself.
Nice. Well, Hardcore WoW is waiting for you whenever you want to punch yourself in the dick even more.
I bitch about hardcore. I bitch about hardcore WoW, and then I do shit like this.
Yeah.
Both runs are about midway
True
through, so that's
masochist at heart.
yeah, those are going well. Also, I wanted to. It was overseas. I can't figure out where the tournament took place, but it was a Russian untitled PUBG
God.
team called Team Question Mark, unrepresented.
Team question mark. All right.
Yeah.
Well, they question marked themselves right out of a winning.
Yeah.
Enigma, anything on your end?
Yeah, you know, unfortunately playing fucking Alliance. Ugh.
No, you're not.
Hey.
Not anymore.
No, if Scruffy
switching.
comes back, we're playing Horde. But Scruffy, you better come back like tonight because I don't want to get fucking too deep into this fucking thing and then have to make a goddamn Horde character. I'm just saying.
So yeah,
I'll
we're gonna
download it.
try out Season of Discovery and see how that is. I'll probably try out 1 or 2 deaths in hardcore.
Let's
but
go!
I
I
guarantee you,
fucking
I
hooked
will
them.
not fucking.
Dang.
I will not fucking play it. Like I
You know
guarantee
Sin's
it.
gonna bait you and leave you, bro.
I did it.
Oh, he will. Well,
Yeah,
that's
you
why.
know
That's
he
why I'm
will.
not. Yeah, that's why I'm not planning on playing with him at all. Like
Yeah.
I
none
did it.
whatsoever. He will shame me to left and right. You know,
I
all over the
accomplished my
place.
goals.
So
I have reached another level.
other than that, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft. I've been doing some modded Minecraft, and I picked up Battlefield 5 on sale. It was on sale for like $4
Nice.
the other day. I've been doing a little bit of Battlefield
I've
5.
heard that one's
and
been solid ever since it got its
it's
Battlefield
not-
treatment.
It's not bad, man. I'm running into a lot of like hackers. Like it's
Oh,
very very heavily like.
They must not be
saturated with
moderating it
hackers.
as heavily anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's fun for what it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see how long I get frustrated with it because they've overtuned tanks.
Hey, am I
Like,
downloading
It's
Classic?
huge.
Yes.
So
It's okay.
other than that, yeah, that's me.
Awesome.
What about you, bro?
Nice.
Yeah. Season of Discovery, obviously, starting realistically tomorrow. I will be moving into day streams, as well as my night streams. So just a lot of
Full
streams.
time Sin.
Yeah, for a month ish, right? Obviously. And then on the 7th, which is podcast night, but during the day, I will be I'm gonna be watching and kind of doing a live talking head of the Game Awards. It happens at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, as well.
No. Is it
Working.
4:30 p.m.
It's
or
4:30
PM.
Pacific time.
Pacific time? Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
It's
like 6 or 7 your time.
So we'll be watching that live before the podcast, and then we'll kind of go straight into the podcast. Love to have you guys on as well. If you guys all join us, like the crew, Bill, Scruffy and Enigma, fuck it, we'll do like a pre-patch watch party prior to.
I already told you I was going to be there.
um,
I'm going to be streaming it as well.
Well, there you go. So we'll try to get something like that. But then we're gonna have our show obviously right after. Which is next week's show. And next week's show is gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, kind of us doing our kind of picks, right?
Our
That's
picks,
next week's
yeah.
show. Yep.
Yeah.
For the categories. And then right after that, I think we've got one more show, and that wraps up the year for us. So our last show for the pre-patch podcast for 2023 will be the 14th. And then that finalizes up the last show for the year.
And we'll probably be back second or third week probably in January. Maybe more. It really depends on how everybody's doing.
Yeah,
So
probably either the 4th or the 11th.
So you got plenty of other
we'll keep you
episodes.
guys posted.
I think Enigma. What did you
Go
say?
Twitter.
There was like some fucking your podcast or your Spotify.
Almost
came
3 days worth of podcasts.
There you
we
go.
have
That's
I think it
awesome.
was like 4,000 hours or something like that. I can't remember
Yep.
what it was.
So there you go.
Crazy
I will-
Very nice.
shit.
I will whale $100 to the person that puts us on and listens to us for 3 days straight. You give me proof that you listen to us for 3 days straight. I will give you $100 for whatever said game you want.
They're going to turn into the
4.1K
angriest
minutes
person.
created.
They're gonna bottle all of Sin's rage.
Anyway, that's it, guys. 106 is done. We will catch you next week for the Game of the Year edition.
Are we sure we don't want to continue talking a little bit about Fallout? Like I could continue to
Y'all
talk
can,
about
but I'm
it.
ending the
Fallout.
show. Y'all have a nice night. We'll talk to you guys later. We will see you
All right,
next
everybody.
week. Bye.
So the Brotherhood
Much
of
less.
Steel.